And we're live.
Heyo.
Yo,
Oh, excuse me.
Get this into Discord.
Yes, I'm on it. Strams at everyone of use hoes.
Hey, Mr. Kun. Well, I'm
Hello.
so used to calling you that I forget that I can address you by your actual name now.
Hello, Mike. Wait, Raptor, this isn't the mic giving you problems, is he?
Oh, I knew I never
maybe.
trusted him.
Maybe.
I want to make sure I'm on live chat
Yeah.
because top chat is stupid.
It wishes it was Top Cat.
Shut up.
No. Let me make outdated references.
Top cat. More like bottom cat.
Don't.
Got him. Oh no. that pretty much sums up our streams most of the time. Just oh no.
Nah, this is gonna be a fun one.
Did I tell you guys about the time that I felt Rudy, Gemma, and I all said something that pretty much summed up our conversations well?
No.
It was Rudy saying oh no, me saying oh yes, and Gemma saying oh dear. Please don't John Wick me. Raptor guy is a good guy. All right.
You've been spared.
Yes, for now.
No.
Great minds think alike.
The fact that we're doing this on a Saturday afternoon might not bode well for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's Easter weekend. I had nothing going on today after the errands I ran, so.
Yeah, we probably should have done it last night or something.
Honestly, I was going to, but I completely forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, yeah, I should go ask Kenzie and Raptor if they want to do. Oh wait, it's midnight now.
What were you doing all day that the time just got away from you?
That's a good question. What did I do after work?
Your rock star lifestyle,
Base.
apparently it's hard to keep track.
Oh, I watched the new Nexpo video and then some other stuff.
Base.
I'm not saying what because you'll say the word.
Racism.
No, that's a good word. Now laugh.
Sexism.
Wonder if Rudy still streaming?
No,
No, they're not.
they just finished. Yeah, I had asked them how much longer the movie was, because if it was still going, that I would start the stream and we would stream snipe them.
Yeah. What were they watching?
John Wick.
We still need to do our Shark Boy and Lava Girl stream.
Yes, I could order that.
No, Mike. No homicidal ghost this stream. Thank God, because that one was bad.
It was really bad.
And not in a funny way. Like, that was upsettingly bad.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
At this point, there wasn't even a ghost.
Right.
Called homicidal ghost.
Yeah, she's
Not
like,
homicidal emo girl.
yeah, she's like, I am a ghost. No, you're not. You're still alive. Hello, Cameron. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, why is Mike the only one here? Like, I literally know that, like, at least 6 of you are ready to go. You were all on Rudy's stream. Get over here.
Cucks. Chew him out on Discord, being like, I know you're all there.
Actually, I'm gonna do that.
Go for it.
Thank you for that idea.
That's what I'm here for. I'm the idea guy. It was my idea to do these streams. And our last one did really well last time.
Yes.
Thank you for coming, Cameron, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
And we're in for another good one because your girl has a roster set up. And it's a good one. Bean Daddy in Discord. Everyone get in here. I saw you on Rudy's stream. I know you have no lives. God, man, Rudy.
I said I know you're all around.
Don't let him lie to you.
I'm not lying. It's right there in the text.
I don't think you know how to read.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Am I Charlie now?
What?
From Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Stop making pop culture references that you know I might, or probably won't get.
Guys, Charlie is illiterate. It's fine. He'll adapt. He'll adapt to reading.
You know I haven't seen the whole series yet.
Just wait until they start the jokes about him having never left Philadelphia in his life.
No, laptop, I do not want to restart right now. Go away.
I don't have a life, though. You're right. Aw, Cameron.
Don't let Manny insult you.
Homicidal ghost, more like angry child. I'm not the one who said the no life thing. That was you. Kenzie switches on the gaslight.
Can't read.
Kenzie switches on the gaslight, yeah. See, now I'm thinking of McTwenty something. Oh, that was a good stream.
20 something?
Yeah.
Or like Nick 69 something.
Oh my God, Raptor! I swear to God.
And the picture's already on the screen, so. Hello, Cricket. Thank you for joining
Cricket.
us. I mean, you know, if I could get someone else in here. If I make a racist joke, your friend Marcy will show up automatically.
It's always how it seems to be how it goes, but she's probably busy. Again, it's Easter weekend. She's probably with family.
Yeah,
doing something wholesome.
I mentioned that in Rudy's stream chat. Someone was like, "Oh, so it's Marcy the racism detector." Scrolling on my touchpad no longer works for some reason, and I'm angry. You should be angry. That's awful. Hello, Gila.
Hello, Masan. What's up? So now our audience is coming in.
Yes.
See, yelling works.
Shaming works.
Shame.
Shame.
Should we just get started then?
Yes. So, I was bored today, and I was like, you know what? Last night I meant to ask Kenzie and Raptor if they wanted to do more of the Save the Creepypastas wiki, and I forgot until midnight. So I thought I'd ask them today. So here we go, and Kenzie's found some wonderful, in which in this case means horrible, selections for us to look at.
Yeah, so last week we covered OCs and just a few couple random stories I think were probably under popular pages or some bullshit. So today we're covering killers. Now, if you're looking at the screen, and Eli's off. Anyway,
Hello,
wouldn't
Eli.
be a deep dive into the Save the Creepypasta wiki without him going off. Anyway, so you'd probably notice that a lot of these have already been covered by the boys over at the Bad Creepypasta show. But I still found some good ones. And again, we have that
Yes.
other one that we were gonna cover, but then decided not to because it was too long.
Indeed. Sorry, I just had to send a message there. All right,
So how about we start with The Man in the Snow, because that's the shortest one, I think.
Yes. This is taken from the Creepypasta Wiki. Credit goes to the original. Yeah, again, credit, blame.
So I'll take this one.
All right.
Cone.
You are home alone, and you hear on the news about the profile of a murderer who is on the loose. The profile. So, you know, 6 foot, some dark hair, gray eyes, likes long walks on the beach, calypso music.
Yeah. And what does this have to do with the murder? We're getting to that.
You look out the sliding glass doors to your backyard, and you notice a man standing out in the snow. He fits the profile of the murderer exactly, and he's smiling at you. He has flowers, you know.
No, he's not looking at you.
He's playing some lute.
Because he's standing sideways, so you can see his profile.
You gulp, picking up the phone. No one gulps.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Picking up the phone and holding it to your right ear and shaking. Wow, you're getting specific. Well, what if I'm left-handed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, way to make assumptions there. Hello, Bagel.
I'm not left-handed, so it's even creepier that you realize that, but... You look back out at the glass and you press the phone to your ear and notice the man is much closer to you now. You drop the phone in shock. There are no footprints in the snow. Stops? Okay. Alright, I'll finish up. There's nobody in the garden. It is just your reflection. Okay. Can stories stop trying to do the, what is it? Second person POV, because it's so manipulative and it's never effective.
Yeah.
Like, again, you gulp, picking up the phone. No one gulps when they're scared.
And this whole
And
thing...
it's like, you drop the phone in shock. No, if someone was moving closer to me and was sitting in my backyard, I would run to another room, still with the phone. 911, yes, hello.
I mean, that was the big twist. You were the killer.
Le spook.
Okay, I honestly think that might be the dumbest one we've ever read.
No, Homicidal Ghost was still... Don't even try.
Homicidal Ghost was more painful. This one is just, but you were killer.
Look, we cover a lot of dumb shit on this...
wait,
series of the Save the Creepypasta.
Wait.
This one doesn't even come close. It's
Wait.
dumb.
But you were killer. Then Snipsy Snips.
Oh.
Get it?
I was on a roll.
Crickets.
Manny, Raptor and I are taking over this stream and your channel.
You are not.
Yeah, watch us. Okay,
Nice.
so that was The Man in the Snow. So would one of you guys like to pick our next one?
Me. Let me pick.
Okay, Raptor. Are you there? You have some kind of ritual you're doing. Or is your mic out again?
Yeah.
What was that?
Picking.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No Sandros. That one.
Nurse Anne, you said?
No Sand. No Sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and this
It was
picture, isn't that something?
animal. Disgusting.
Oh, I hate
Disgraceful.
this so much. Oh, careful, guys. You can bang your hip on all this edge.
Got cut in half from this edge.
Manny, you there?
Yeah, go
Or
ahead.
have you already given up?
Go ahead.
Do you have it up?
Yeah.
So, shall I get it started?
Yes.
Manny, something up with your mic?
Go ahead.
Okay. Annie ran away again the other night. We don't know who Annie is, so we don't care. It took me hours to find her in the park, going back and forth on the swings without a care in the world, like she had every right to be there. Fucking Gen Z. And she dyed her hair again, blonde this time. Oh boy. I didn't want to make a fuss with all the people around, so I caught her on the backswing and dragged her home, kicking and screaming like a lunatic. Yeah, so good job not making a fuss.
Good job, Dick.
It was humiliating. I had to smile and shrug at all the people staring like it didn't bother me. As soon as we were home, I sent Annie to her room. She just sat there on the bed crying and crying. The way she carried on, I didn't have the heart to yell at her for running away. I guess that's the real problem, this lack of discipline. I've never been good at tough but fair. I'm always going too far one way or the other. Well, aren't you great, parent? Like a few months ago when she came out with me with a kitchen knife. Oh, God. For a minute,
Oh,
I
hang
really
on.
thought she was trying to hurt me. My own sweet angel. Well, clearly not. But afterwards, she just lay there in my arms, so quiet, letting me stroke her hair and sing her a lullaby, like nothing had ever happened. How old is she?
Just be quiet.
Like, how can we get invested if we don't even know?
Sorry about that. I wasn't talking to you.
I'm sorry, what was that, Raptor?
But that doesn't mean talking to you.
Okay. But there was that other time when she started messing around with my doll collection. How old are you? They're such fragile things, my dolls, and Annie was playing so rough like she wanted to break them. I love those dolls, more than I loved Annie. They remind me of when everything was easier, when I wasn't stuck in this house all day long with Annie's tantrums and Bill's moping. Who's Bill?
What?
Manny, still no input?
No, go ahead.
You alright there?
Yep, go ahead.
I think the animal broke him.
I think he's trying to make a point after I joked that we were taking over the stream. I got upset and I hit her. Oh my god. I was so ashamed when she ran away that night I didn't go after her right away. I just stayed there, crying and feeling like the worst mother in the world. I mean,
Yeah, you
yeah,
are.
you're up there. You're no Casey Anthony, but I tried to be gentler after that, more understanding. So instead of getting cross with Annie, I let her stay in her room and cooked her some dinner. I turned up the TV real loud so I wouldn't hear the racket she was making in there. She makes such a mess sometimes, and it makes me so angry the way she breaks her things like she doesn't even care about them anymore. I bought her a puppy once, but she wouldn't even touch it, like she was scared of it. The very day I decided to take it back to the pet store, oh my god. I'm mad now. I found Annie in the backyard, holding a little trowel, sitting on a pile of dirt. I helped her wash and never mentioned again. Okay, now you're really getting up there. This is how Jeffrey Dahmers are made. I made her favorite food, macaroni and cheese, hoping it might calm her down. Okay, so knowing about this kid, have either of you guys seen the episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog where Muriel's turned back into a child.
Oh yeah, I love that episode.
Macaroni! More cheese! More macaroni and cheese! Perfect. Just throw chucks it. I hate macaroni and cheese.
Genius.
But as soon as I opened the door, she slammed into me, trying to get past. I almost dropped the food everywhere, wrestling with her like that. She had this wild look in her eyes like an animal. It scared me, being alone in there with her when she was like that. I put the food on her desk and gently pushed her toward the chair. Alright, so who wants to be mom?
I thought you were the mom. She's new in the story.
Alright, fine, I'll be mom, but who's gonna be the brat?
Me, I am the perfect brat for this story.
Okie doke. I made it just the way you like it, I told her, smiling and trying to not look as afraid as I felt. Oh god, you both need Dr. Phil. Stared at me like she didn't understand a word I was saying. Will you eat some of it?
I don't want to.
Oh no. Her voice sounded strange, different than I ever heard it before. I hope I didn't shudder. I don't want to upset her. Please, Annie, I'm very worried about you.
That's not my name anymore.
She likes to change her name sometimes. It worries me. One day she's Beth, the next day she's Irene. It's just like her hair. She changes it every time she runs away. I get scared that one day I won't be able to find her and the police won't be able to help because I won't know what she looks like or what she's calling herself. There's a there's a name for that kind of condition. It's called dissociative identity disorder. Get her some help, maybe. Sweetheart, I really like you to eat a little bit. Just a little, please, for mommy. And then she said, with the meanest look on her face,
You're not my mommy.
hang on, sorry.
You're not my mommy.
Not the mama. It hurt so much, it felt like a stab to my heart. Tears welled up in my eyes before I could stop them, so I turned away. I heard her scramble onto the bed, her fingernails scratching like little claws on the post. When I looked back, she had her back pressed against the corner of the room, legs drawn up to her chest, rocking back and forth, staring at me with those wild animal eyes. Clearly, she has mental issues, and you're just calling her like a wild animal. Ugh. I love you, Annie, I said with as much dignity as I could manage. But sometimes I just don't don't know how to deal with your behavior. She screamed. Just this one long, loud, echoing screech like a siren. Her mouth was open wide, but her face was blank. I covered my ears, got out of the room, and closed the door behind me. God, you are a doormat. I had to collect myself before I could go see Bill. He'd been so odd lately, I don't want to worry him anymore. Who's Bill? I got a second plate of the macaroni and brought it to the bedroom. That's where he spent all his time, lying in bed. Honey, I made dinner. He didn't answer, didn't even roll over to look. Oh, let me guess he's dead. I picked up the plate from them this morning, the food on it untouched, and put the new one down where he could reach it. Annie's back. I found her in the park. She's pitching a fit in her room already. He must have heard the screaming. Always tried to keep her quiet, told her that Daddy needed rest, but she never listened. Sometimes I wondered if he could even hear her. He never got up to see what was wrong.
Ed.
All right, Manny, can you take over? I want a drink.
I knelt beside the bed and looked into his eyes. He stared back at me, not saying a word. He'd been like ever since the first time Annie ran away. They'd been alone together. Then she had run off, and he'd stopped talking. He lay down in bed and never got up again. Lost his job, lost so much weight. He hardly even looked like the man I'd married. I kissed him on the forehead and left. As I closed the door behind me, I thought I saw him start to get up, but I guess I must have imagined it. Annie kept on with that awful screaming for hours. I stayed in the living room, sitting on our big three-person couch alone. I turned up the TV as loud as I could, played music, turned on the blender, tried everything I could to drown out the awful screaming. It was like nails being driven into my ears, like spiders crawling up my neck, like ice water splashing on my legs. Finally, it stopped. I thought maybe she'd finally tuckered herself out, but then the scratching started. That was almost worse. It started out quick, rhythmic, but it got slower as time went on. Sometimes Annie would make a noise like she was crying again. I started to worry that she might be hurting herself, but I couldn't get that awful thing she had said to me or that wild look in her eyes out of my head. I just stayed in the living room and tried to sleep. I don't know how it got to be like this. I've thought about taking her to a doctor, but they always give her these strange looks. It's gotten to where I don't dare to go to the same doctor twice. I'm afraid they might be thinking of taking her away from me, of doing something awful to her. Thought about calling in a priest. I know that must sound crazy, but the way she gets sometimes, like she doesn't even know me, it scares me so much. She'll call out to people who aren't there, shout names I don't know like they're real people. And there was the business with the kitchen knife. It wasn't the first time she's tried to hurt me. She smuggles rocks into the house and tries to hit me with them when my back is turned. When she gets really wild, she'll bite and claw at me. Some days I start to wonder if she's really my little girl or something else wearing her face haunting me. After a long time, the scratching stopped and everything got quiet. I sighed with relief. The house is so much nicer when it's quiet. I looked at the clock and could hardly believe how late it was. She must have finally fallen asleep. When I looked over at her door, I saw the light still on through the cracks. Quiet as I could, I tiptoed over. I would just peek in, turn off the light, maybe give her a little kiss goodnight. I opened the door just a crack, but that was all it took. She slammed through, knocked me to the floor, and scrambled away.
Do you want me to take over?
Well, no, aren't you doing the character?
Well, yeah, I am. I didn't know if you wanted to keep going or want me to take over.
Nah.
I shouted.
Oh, you didn't say anything.
I did. I said, Annie, stop.
I shouted. She was going right to her bedroom, making so much noise I was sure it would wake Bill up. She shoved through the door and I ran after, but inside she was just standing there staring at the bed.
Sweetheart, Daddy's sleeping.
I hissed. She started screaming again, even louder than before. She pointed at Bill and screamed and screamed. I shushed her, tried to tell her he was sleeping. But she wouldn't stop. She screamed and screamed. The sound pierced through me, tore apart every nerve in my body, carved my ears and scratched at my face, and soon I was screaming too, just as loud as she was. I took her up in my arms and we screamed together. I hugged her as tight as I could, squeezed her to me, wishing I could do something, anything to make it stop. I held her so close I could feel her heartbeat, how soft and quiet it was, growing quieter and quieter. She
Okay,
stopped
the
screaming.
thought of like a mom and a child having a screaming match while she's holding her is not scary or emotional. It's actually kind of funny.
She
Just
stopped.
me.
It's kind of funny, to be honest.
Maybe I'm just a sick fuck.
So am I.
She stopped screaming there in my arms, and soon I stopped too. I sank to my knees, holding my little girl in my arms, stroking her hair. I don't know how long we stayed like that. It was so dark in the bedroom. I looked down at Annie,
What's
but
the
it wasn't
point?
Annie at all. I was holding one of my dolls.
Oh my god.
I
What?
must I must have fallen asleep holding her there,
Excuse
and
me.
she snuck away and put a doll in
What?
my arms instead. It was
What's
a
up, Raptor?
I'm just confused. What is the point of the story?
Good question,
Just
and
to,
we're almost done.
what is to kill her?
Who's the
What?
nurse?
Yeah. And is Bill dead or not?
Let's see.
It was a funny doll, one I didn't remember having. It had such lovely blonde hair. I felt so silly holding that doll like that for who knows how long. I got up and carried it to the closet where I keep the other dolls and laid it there. There were so many dolls and they were all so big. I was starting to run out of room, but I couldn't throw them out. They were so pretty, such lovely little dolls. They all looked different, but every single one reminded me of Annie. I checked around the house, but she was gone. She must have been very upset to run away twice in just 2 days. I got my coat and got ready to go look for her again. Before I left, I went back to the bedroom to check on Bill. Somehow all the noise hadn't bothered him at all. I touched his forehead, but he didn't seem any different. My fingers stuck a little bit. There was some funny green stuff left on them afterwards. I wiped it off on the bed and said goodbye. It was such a lovely day outside. I took a deep breath of the fresh air. I love our house, but every once in a while I notice the worst smell in there. Somewhere off in the distance, I heard the sound of children laughing. It was so nice to hear after all that awful noise last night. Maybe Annie thought so too. I followed the laughter.
All right, I get
What?
it. Ooh, what a twist.
I just I don't get it. What's the twist?
So the twist is that there's no Annie, there's no daughter Annie. She's kidnapping children, calling them her daughter, and they freak out because, that's not their mom. And then somehow she turns them into a doll when they get too much for her. And I guess whoever the fuck Bill is dead, and he's just, decomposing in their bedroom. Or is just another doll. I don't know. And so, fine, whatever. Typical twist. Ooh, scary.
That don't
Who is
explain
Nurse
everything.
Anne, and what does the fuck does any of this have to do with being a nurse?
Yeah.
Nothing apparently.
Or the picture? What's with the ooh animo picture?
So he basically lied to us.
I feel robbed.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, anyone want to pick the next one? Manny, you want to pick?
Now, one of you go ahead.
You okay?
Go ahead.
You seem to be in a mood.
Go ahead.
Do you want to talk about your feelings?
Nope.
All right. Should we get the weeb one out of the way?
Alright.
How'd you pronounce it earlier?
Kage Kao.
All right. And oh, look, another edgy picture.
No. More disgusting. Absolutely shameful.
Creator unknown,
Beautiful
spelt
abomination.
wrong. Yeah, I'm sure they're
No.
definitely keeping their identity concealed.
Not spelled wrong according to Pokemon.
Well, they at least have translation issues. This one has no excuse. So would you like to start it?
Mark sighed and looked at the night sky. He was standing on the roof of his apartment building 4 stories up. Sometimes Mark just liked to stay up there and reflect. It was quiet and peaceful. Looking down, you could see the normal hustle and bustle of city life. If you looked up, you could see the beautiful sky and sometimes even a full moon or some stars. Mark walked along the border of the roof that helped keep him from falling to his death. It was pretty late, uh, so he should be going back down to his apartment soon. Then he saw something waving in the wind a few meters away. Mark walked over to it and picked it up, seeing that it was today's newspaper, and began to read the front page. Young man found dead near woods. Earlier today, John Parker, age 20, was found dead near the northern woods. His family stated that he never had any real enemies, but he was a bit of a troublemaker. Still, they did not know who would want him dead. His death seemed to be caused by blood loss. Scars seemed to be from a large animal, but that was later found not to be the case, as a symbol was found carved on the man's forehead. The symbol was the Mark put the newspaper down where he found it. He didn't want an article like that ruining his night. He walked along the border with his arm on it, looking up at the sky. 20 years so young, he felt sorry for the kid. He himself was nearly 30. He thought of all the things that man would never be able to do now that His life was gone. Mark tried to get it out of his head. He didn't want to get depressed. Without knowing it, Mark's hand bumped an empty cardboard box that was on the edge. He tried to catch it, but was too late. It was sent falling down towards the street. It was odd. He didn't see any cars, only one lonely person walking along the sidewalk. This is boring.
Mike, you can't name your character Mark, put him on the roof, and not expect the room jokes. True.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi,
Alright,
Mark.
so whoever's talking has to be Tommy Wiseau. Alright, I'll do it. Hey, watch out.
He called, but was a bit too late. The box fell on the person's head. Well, at least it was just an empty cardboard box. He was about to call down his apologies when what happened next made him freeze. The person who was on the sidewalk looked up at him. He had on a black hoodie and a black and white striped scarf. That was, of course, not what made him freeze. The person also had on a peculiar mask, half pitch
That's not
black.
his mask, that's just Tommy Wiseau's face. We know it's shocking.
Hi, Mark. Anyway, how was your sex life? What a story, Mark.
Got any more references there, Raptor?
But tear me apart, Lisa.
There you go.
I'm fed up with this world. Why, Lisa? Why, Lisa? Why?
Okay,
Why?
don't. Not all in one.
Half pitch black and half a luminous white. He managed to get back his voice and was going to shout his apologies. Maybe this guy just came back from a strange party or gathering. When he was yet again frozen by what he saw, the man said something that Mark couldn't quite hear and then jumped onto the wall. He began climbing up the side of the building, similar to the style of a spider or lizard. Mark was just frozen, mouth agape, trying to make sense of what he was seeing.
Clearly, he just saw Venom. Venom!
Strange man, no monster, reached the top of the building and crouched on the border's edge. Mark now saw how he was able to climb the building so easily. He was wearing white gloves, but there were long, black, cat-like claws extending from the end of each finger through the glove. He saw that the mask had a face on it, but only half a face. On the white side of the mask there was the shape of an angry-looking eye and a mouth curved into a frown.
Do we have to bring out the "it's time to meet Mr. Angry Eyes" joke again, or should we not? I guess I already did.
They just stared at each other. It was only a few seconds, but to Mark it felt like an eternity. Then something strange happened. The monster's mask changed. The angry mouth and eye disappeared on the black side of the mask and appeared a happy eye and a strange smile. The monster cocked its head to one side and said,
Lol, cocked.
Dean. Ching chong. Do you want to play?
Oh, look, we actually have actual Japanese characters because weeb.
The monster
Weeb.
cocked its head to one side and said, rice alphabet, then in
Oh, hi,
parentheses, do you
Marcy.
want to play? Mark screamed and ran towards the little door leading to the inside of the building. He prayed that the monster wasn't following him. He reached the door and threw it open, bolted inside, and slammed it shut. Panting, he leaned against the door to keep it shut. After a while, he wondered if the monster was still there and why it didn't try to force the door open. He had no idea what it said to him. I mean, because he has a life. But there was something odd about the way it said it. It seemed happy and playful, but also angry and malicious.
It's nothing new.
So, sarcastic.
He gathered up his courage and decided to open the door. Putting one hand on the knob, he took a deep breath and slowly opened the door, ready for whatever was on the other side. Mark expected to find himself face to face with that old mask. Instead, he saw the monster was still there and had left him sitting on the edge of the roof and smiling that odd and somewhat malicious smile. The monster said again, Benihana,
Ching chong
ramen.
ching chong hanji. You want to play? Take a get laughter. I want you to play ching chong hanji.
Mic off.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. You will not be seeing it after we end it because YouTube's gonna nuke it. Mark slammed the
We'll
door.
fix it up.
Hey, you there?
Mic on.
Mark slammed the door shut again. His legs fell from beneath him, and he sat on the floor. He didn't like the way the monster said those things to him. He sat there for a while, trying to make sense of what happened. Well, it was late. Maybe he fell asleep on the roof and had a nightmare. He decided to check one more time. Mark stood up and slowly opened the door. Part of him said that the monster would be in the same spot and say the same thing. The other part told him that the monster would be right next to the door, claws unsheathed and ready to slash. He was wrong. The monster was gone. It was nothing but the lights of the city and the sound of a few cars driving by. He let out a sigh of relief. It was all just a dream.
Or was it?
The door slammed shut in his face. He made a sound of pain as the metal of the door whacked him on the forehead. Mark rubbed his head and fell to the ground. What the hell was that? He shouted to no one in particular. He didn't close the door. Even if he did, he wasn't that clumsy. The wind wasn't strong enough to close it. He told himself that maybe it was just a freak gust of wind, but his mind quickly disagreed when he heard that laugh again.
No one laughs like that. Raptor, I swear to God.
Alright, why don't you take over?
Alright. Are you okay?
Go ahead.
You sound sad. Fanny.
Keep reading.
The noise came from right outside the door, a little above it. The monster must have been standing on top of it. Mark woke up confused. He was in his own apartment, in his bed. He looked around to make sure it really was his own place. It was. He sighed again. It must have all been a dream. Are you really going to do a fake out again? One of those odd dreams that you could have sworn was real because it felt so real. But then you realize it must have been a dream because it was so odd. Mark laughed a little bit to himself. What a story, Mark. Sorry, I had to readjust myself. Where was I? As if monsters like that actually existed. A sudden pain in his forehead appeared, which made him stop. Maybe it was real and he just didn't remember coming back down. Mark quickly dismissed the idea. Maybe he had fallen down in his sleep and then gotten back up again. Things like that happen. Mark got up and went to his fridge to get something to drink. Grabbing a glass on his way there, he opened up a carton of orange juice to have for breakfast. He tilted the carton to pour some into the glass when the juice spilled out onto the counter. He paused and stared at it, confused. Then he realized that there was a thin gash on the side of the carton so that when it was tilted, the juice didn't reach the top but spilled out the slit instead. Raptor went away for a minute, so we have more stupid anime laughter.
And anyway, ching chong,
there he is.
ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching 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 chong, chong chong, manji, manji, ching chong.
You're still going.
Yes, you may continue.
Oh, may I? Okay. There it was again. It came from the inside of the apartment. He turned around slowly, scanning the room for that monster. Then he stopped, realizing how paranoid and foolish he was being. He had obviously imagined it. The cut in the carton, his girlfriend could have done that. They had recently gotten into a fight. Who gets mad and is like, well, I'll show you. I'm just gonna slash this fucking juice carton. Mark cleaned up the mess and decided he wasn't going to have anything for breakfast. He didn't feel like eating. He was worried how he was going to make up to his girlfriend Beatrice. No, that's Lisa. She's Lisa. He loved her and wanted to make her understand how much he loved her. He turned on the television and watched for a couple of hours, forgetting his troubles. Well, you clearly weren't that worried then. It was now noon. Oh, we're in the present tense, I guess. He got up and walked into the kitchen. No, we're not. Leaving the television on. He opened up the cabinet that he kept his alcohol in. Taking out a bottle of beer, he poured some into a glass and then nearly dropped the bottle when he saw that it wasn't beer. It was just plain water. He frowned and drank a little bit to check, and it was just plain water. Yeah, you just said... He stared at it angrily and grabbed another bottle, then another and another. Their contents all had been replaced with just normal water. He sighed angrily, and there it was again. Raptor, you are allowed to keep it to 3 seconds. Deal?
Okay.
But okay, so this isn't scary. It just sounds like whatever this is just fucking with him. Like this is like what a 12-year-old boy would do.
He has the powers of God, and yet he just pranks one guy.
He has the power of God and anime on his side, and he does it to fuck with this one guy.
Yep. Typical God moment.
He told
Typical
himself
Greek
again.
God moment.
What was that?
Typical Greek God moment.
Oh yeah. Well, no, not a typical Greek god moment. He hasn't fucked him yet. He told himself again and again that he had imagined it. He was just getting paranoid because his dream felt so real. Beatrice could have done this too. There was no monster. He dug around the cabinet to see if there was anything left in there. In the back, he knew he had 2 bottles of wine and 1 bottle of champagne, but he wanted to save those for when Beatrice forgave him. He saw the bottles and was about to close the cabinet when he did a double take. One of the bottles of wine was missing. Mark looked at where he kept the wine bottles, and one of them was missing too. Or the wine glasses, and one of them was missing too. Beatrice could have done that too. She was pretty mad, Mark said to himself quietly. He swore to himself that he could make it up to her, even if it was the last thing he ever did. Then he heard it again.
Zhongjing.
It came from the living room where he left the television on. Also, if he keeps thinking that his girlfriend did all this when she was mad at him, don't you think he would have, seen it?
That's
He knew
pretty suspicious.
he knew he hadn't imagined it this time. That laughter was real. Now you realize it. He closed the cabinet shut and ran into the room. Sure enough, there was the monster. It was sitting on the couch drinking a glass of wine, watching the television that had been left on. This isn't scary. It's literally just fucking with him. The monster paused and looked up at Mark, smiling. It picked up the open bottle of wine in one hand and shook it a little towards him.
Wine, Ching Chong?
Mark paused, staring at the monster. This is how their sitcom's gonna start. It's his new roommate.
Hey, Mark, why you fight password?
Yeah, it's the new sitcom. Oh, hi, Mark. He quickly snapped out of it and ran back to the kitchen as quickly as he could. It was real. He really expected the monster to get up and come after him to kill and eat him, because that's what monsters do. But the monster remained there. He could hear it laughing at him.
Chong, ching, chong, ching, chong.
Mark was afraid. He had to get it out of his place and out of his life. He looked around the kitchen for something to use. Panicking, he grabbed the nearest knife he could find and ran back into the living room ready to fight. The monster was gone. There was no trace. The evidence of the missing bottle of wine and wine glass. He tensed up. Maybe he was going crazy due to that dream. No, I'm not crazy. That can't happen. It won't happen. I won't let it. He rambled to himself. He went back into the kitchen and put the knife away. He walked back into the living room and sat on the couch. Picking up the remote, he turned off the television to think. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Maybe I'm going crazy because I'm depressed because Beatrice is mad at me. Strange dream just happened to mix it with it. Mark got up and grabbed his phone to call her. He dialed her number and waited for her to pick up. Mark was so excited about making up with her. Not to her. It's either making it up to her or making up with her. That he did not notice someone slip through the window and watch him. Hi, Lee. Oh, yeah. Well, I've already been calling her Beatrice. I can't go back now. It's me. I'm so sorry about the fight we had. No, I'm really sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you. I swear I'll... He set the phone down. She had hung up. Only then did he see something in the corner of his eye, but when he turned about, it was gone. I'm going to make it up to her. Why are you talking to yourself? He told himself, grabbing his jacket and putting it on. I'm going to apologize in person. Mark paced around the apartment, thinking of what he should give her. God, he's a simp.
Um,
Then he realized and opened up the cabinet to grab the bottle of champagne.
the
But when he
I to the
opened it
M
up,
to the P. Simp.
the bottle was gone. He thought of to himself that his sincere apology would be enough and went out the door to see her. Well, he's already gotten used to the monster fucking with him. He's just like, oh, it's gone. All right, whatever. Mark walked along quickly, rehearsing what he was going to say. The entire time he was talking, he always felt that someone was following him. He told himself that it was just him being nervous. Mark reached her house and stood on the front steps. He was afraid that she wouldn't forgive him and break up with him. He reached out his fist to knock on the door, but quickly drew back. He was afraid. We know. Mark sighed and swore under his breath, telling himself that he was a coward. He turned around and walked away, not noticing that laugh that happened right behind him, followed by the sound of an opening window.
Ching chong ching.
There's a part 2? Ugh. All right, Manny, can you take over for a little bit?
Mark left the bar he was at. He had come to this bar to have a little bit to drink before he faced Beatrice, but he didn't feel like drinking at all and hardly touched what he had bought. Mark told himself that he would go and apologize like a man and set off towards her house. Mark reached out his fist and knocked on the door loudly. He waited. No one answered. He pressed the doorbell several times and could hear it ring through the house. Still no one answered. Getting worried, he knocked on the door and shouted her name. Still no one answered. He tried the doorknob and it opened. That was odd. She usually kept the door locked. The first thing he noticed when he entered was the open window. The wood bordering the sides of it seemed to have a lot of claw marks on it, like a cat had been there. He walked into the dining room calling out her name. He paused when he saw the bottle of champagne on the table. It was the bottle that he had in his cabinet. It was open. He picked it up and examined it. There was a note taped to the side of it. The note read, Beatrice, I'm so sorry about our fight. I really want to make it up to you because I love you with all my heart and soul. Mark. Mark stared at the note, looking at the little heart following the word soul. He didn't remember sending this to her.
Beatrice?
He shouted. He walked around the table and his blood ran cold. He saw her, his darling Beatrice, on the floor. She wasn't moving, and shards of broken glass surrounded her.
Beatrice!
Mark Sean fell to the floor to pick her up, ignoring the cuts given to him by the shards of glass. He saw from the shapes of them that they were from a wine glass. Tears streamed from his eyes, and he hugged her. He knew she was dead. That's so sweet of him. Mark paused and looked up. There it was, the monster. It was sitting in the windowsill, imitating her voice. I'm so sorry we even fought in the first place. Mark stared at it, anger boiling up inside.
Then she drank it. Then she died. Ching chong ching chong ching chong. It's poison. Ching chong ching chong.
It laughed hard, putting its hand on its face to try and stop.
You think this is funny? You killed her! I'll kill you!
Mark stood up and grabbed the bottle.
Oh, are you kidding
You
me?
mad old fool. Ching chong ching chong ching chong.
You mad?
Mark threw the bottle, but the monster jumped out the window before it reached it. He was going to kill it. He would make it pay. He walked over to Beatrice's dresser. He knew where she kept a pistol for self-defense. He pulled it out and opened the clip. Seeing that there were only 4 bullets left, that was alright. He only wanted 1. Mark ran out to the door. There was no sign of the monster anywhere. He knew it was going back to his apartment, though. Mark ran as fast as he could, ignoring crosswalk signs and other people, just running. He reached his apartment building and ran up to his floor, slamming the door open to his apartment. He was right, the monster was there. It was lying on top of a bookshelf, holding a glass of wine, the wine bottle in the other hand.
Wine is our gun. Ching chong.
Mark flew into a rage and pointed the gun towards it, shooting a bullet. It sprung up and jumped to the wall, leaving the wine glass and clinging to it with its claws so that its back was facing Mark. He shot a second time and it flipped over so it was now facing Mark, its left arm and leg bending farther than normal humans. He shot again, it dropped to the floor, now on all fours. Mark shot yet again, did a roll to dodge. Then it jumped back onto the wall, staying there and staring at him. Mark walked over to it angrily and pointed the pistol towards its forehead. He pulled the trigger, but there was only a click, indicating that there were no more bullets. The monster began to laugh crazily.
Oh, ching chong, ching chong.
Mark was enraged and swung the gun toward it for a melee attack, but the monster crawled to the side, picking up the wine glass that had left on the bookshelf. Threw the wine glass at Mark, but Mark dodged it. Then it threw the wine ball at him and hit him square between the eyes. Mark passed out. Mark regained consciousness. He was face to face with the monster. It was clinging to the ceiling, its arms and legs bending back at a 90-degree angle, so it was facing him. Its mask had changed. The luminous smile on the black side of its mask disappeared, and the angry frown reappeared on the white side of its mask. Then he said to him in a dark voice, lacking the happy playfulness of before,
Yo, Bowangu, ching chong, ching chong.
It made a low, growling, hissing sound and pounced. Later that day, the police arrived at Mark's apartment. A neighbor had called them because they heard gunshots. Mark was found dead, claw marks all over his body and throat clawed out. The kill seemed animal, and claw marks were found along the walls and ceiling. Bloody footprints were found headed towards the window, so they determined that it was done by a human. Upon further inspection of the body, they found something carved into the skin on his forehead.
Bowangu.
Right, so, that wasn't scary.
Nope.
I don't know about you, but I am not spooked.
Nope, that was shit.
Like, it was mostly just funny. Like, it was pretty harmless for the most part of him just fucking with him.
Almost scared my inevitable cancellation because of this story.
And again, and no offense to you, Raptor, but it literally just sounded like a teenage gamer. You mad? Fail!
No, it's you, Meadow. Ow. Ching chong, ching chong. Chong.
Raptor,
Ching chong.
stop it.
Sorry.
You are gonna get us. Well, I was about to say demonetized, but then I'm like, wait, what? We do not have an audience for that yet. But you're just gonna get us nuked. So, do you want to pick our next one?
I guess. Let's see here. Maybe Alice Lulu would give us more of a scale, I guess. Maybe.
Oh, you
I
think?
don't know. I don't.
You think
mean,
it'll have the spooks we're looking for?
No. Give it a shot, I guess.
Let's do it. Man, are you still with us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, this was taken from DeviantArt. Oh god.
Oh, you're right. Well, at least there's no link.
No picture.
Nope, scroll
What's this
down.
one on? Oh no! Oh
Yep.
god!
Look at
Why
it in
is
all
there
of its
so much
waifu-ness.
Why?
Look at it! Look at it!
Oh, this. I miss Kaji Kyle. At least he was funny with his funny racist Chinese accent, even though he was probably meant to be Japanese.
So, I have a theory about this little piece of
What?
art right here. I think that this was probably drawn first, and that the quote-unquote artist just didn't know how to draw animu eyes well. So like he was like drawing all of this, and he was like, "Fuck, this is YOC, eyeless Lulu, and she's scary. Let's give her some blood and bruises, and ooh, spooky." And
Yes.
that this was probably I don't even know if this was connected to the creepypasta because you can kind of see how it's cut off at the head, and it looks like there's something like that was written, but it's just cut off that you can't see it.
So this is probably still not.
Don't quote me on it. Just speculating.
If true, then the story is basically a story for stolen art.
Well, let's not. We can't implicate him. We don't want to be sued for copyright or something. We'll have a vengeful as fuck artist or writer or whatever on our case.
You always sued for racism, though.
I'll quote. I have to bring up what Mike said. That part's on you, Raptor. Or no, that was Gillimason. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is. I did not say that, Manny.
Agree to disagree.
Slander.
No.
Uh,
It's not slander.
Cricket point out. Yeah, she does have eyebrows though, despite no eyes. She has an eyebrow. I don't know why. I think that's funny. Also, she's saying hi, but it's a little cut off. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. It was hard to see. It wouldn't
Before we start,
load
I have
when
one question about this OC.
when I clicked on it. It wouldn't load, so I can only see the smaller version. And apparently, she has fan art.
What?
Goody. The
I'm
utter
be surprised
bitterness
at
in
this
which I
point.
called this person an artist is priceless, according to Mike. Well, everyone's an artist in their own way. Some are just fucking hacks. I.e. Alright, so who wants to get this one started?
Well,
You
I don't know
wanna?
about the whole story.
Go for it.
This goes on for fucking ever.
Yeah, it's a little
Am I
long.
reading? Wait, who's reading?
You wanted to read?
Oh yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say.
I'll voice the protagonist, but you
It's a
can
non sequitur. Matthew
read it.
McConaughey is terrible.
Okay?
Okay. It all started with another family camping trip. Brother Andy, my parents, my Aunt Laura, my Uncle Ben, and I always planned an annual camping trip to the nearby mountains. Every year, we would hike a little bit higher and walk a bit farther. This year, we went up about 10 miles and a half way around the mountain to a grassy flatland. It was pretty nice, quiet and unmoved by the urban life just a few miles down the road.
Urban life, by that he
Yonk.
means the hood.
Yes. The only part I didn't like was that there was no actual bathroom. So if you needed some quiet time in a John, you needed to take a shovel and hope you don't pick up poison ivy.
Thank you for that image. That's gonna be the scariest thing that'll be part of this story.
Important plot point, clearly. Anyway, it was getting closer to sundown, and the camp was all set up and the fire was crackling in the center. I had the greatest urge to take a piss, so I told my mother that I was going into the trees for a moment. She told me not to go too far. I nodded to show her I understood. Then I left. I walked into the collection of trees moving just far enough to see the light. The last thing I wanted is one of my family members to just be peeling behind a tree and cause another one of those awkward moments in life. Once I was on empty, I fixed on my pants and planned my way back. Just as I was about to leave, something caught the corner of my eye. I turned my head, and in the pond, a few feet away, there was a girl washing her legs off. I was curious, so I walked over. She had pitch black messy hair and these two pigtails. She didn't look much older than maybe 13 or 14, and she wore a torn pleated
Pleated.
okay, thank you, pleated uniform, but no shoes. Legs were covered in bruises and cuts.
I was
Hey,
thrilled.
I watched.
Here we have an anime schoolgirl in America, which I'm assuming is taking place because all of his family's names are, clearly Caucasian.
No, it's in Japan.
Just
It's
Ben.
just by a '90s dubbing crew.
Oh yes, Andy Miyamoto and Aunt Laura and Ben. I don't know,
Uncle
Wakanda,
Ben.
whatever Japanese names are.
Like the
We tried Uncle Ben's
'90s,
wife.
the '90s Sailor Moon, like
It's great.
Serena Tsukino. What else was there? I can't even remember the names they gave them.
Yeah. The fact that you're trying to remember suggests you know an awful lot about Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I've never made a secret of that.
I have not watched it since I want to say third grade at the latest.
I mean, the last 2 seasons were garbage, so.
And then, I know that's gotten probably remade a whole bunch of times. I was never that into it. It was just one of those shows that where it was on, I'd be like, all right, fine. But I could not tell you anything about it personally. But, maybe you're right. Maybe it is just dubbing.
I just know in the original dub, it was like they all had American names, no last names, and then in the second season they suddenly started admitting that they were in Tokyo.
And that the lesbians were cousins. That part I knew.
Yeah, that. It's like, really, if you're gonna go Puritan, which of those sounds worse to you? Because even when they were still cousins, it showed them, the things they were doing. It was like, no.
They were all cuddling up and stuff, and I'd be like, whoa, I'm not that close to my cousins.
Yeah. I thought I remembered one of their names. No.
No, I just remember her name and nothing else. Anyway.
I know they call the one Michelle. It's like,
do you remember which one?
The green-haired one.
Oh god, I can't even tell them apart. I am anime racist.
Everyone. Kenzie cannot tell one Japanese person from another. She just
only if they're drawn.
Face not gonna lie.
Sailor Moon and Attack on Titan, basically the same show.
Attack on Titan is garbage.
I like Attack on Titan. That's the only one I've watched.
I have a vor fetish. Everyone look at it.
I don't know. I like it. Maybe I just have a taste for giant naked men. Anyway. So, okay. Her legs were covering and bruising. Hey! Raptor. Raptor, you still reading?
I'm still here. Watched her finish wiping her legs off with the water and stand straight up. She slowly turned to me. Her black bangs were long and overgrown.
My name's Ruben.
I smiled at her.
What's yours?
A fog rolled in while we stood there silently. Then, once I could barely see the trees behind her, I heard a whisper.
Lulu.
Lulu? Well, that's a cute name. So where are you staying?
I looked around. Almost impossible to see anything. Not only that, but the sun was starting to go down.
I can take you.
She muttered softly, taking my hand. Her skin was smooth, even with the bruises, soft and plush like a but so very cold.
Okay, I know like sometimes bruises accompany swelling, but bruises usually like her skin is smooth even with the bruises. I think you mean cuts. Whatever.
I don't even know what it's saying.
I was quiet for a moment, conflicted if I should go with her or not. I gave her a smile shortly after and agreed to follow her.
God,
We
you are a
walked
simp.
on the Grimp. We walked on the dirt path that was cluttered with dead leaves and fallen branches. At the time I was only concentrated on her and not the fact she was walking blindly into fog like it was an everyday task. Foggy forested diminished as the sun descended. She managed to lead me to an old abandoned two-story home as the fog thickened even more. She and I sat on the porch to watch the darkness.
1 second. The foggy forested.
Oh, you're right.
Emma, what's that?
Aren't you afraid, of living out here in the woods alone? Well, how do you know she's alone?
I looked over the quiet, shoeless Lulu.
Wait. We need to put this on pause for a moment.
What happened?
I need to do something. This must be done.
If it's the fact that she's shoeless and it's inspiring you to do something dealing with feet, you stop right now. I hope I'm not right.
And if you are,
Well, then I can't stop you, can I?
you cannot.
Oh god, what's he doing?
If I had $1 for every time someone said that about me. Work, you whore.
Alright, so Cricket found the DeviantArt user who did make this, I think. Or at least the picture.
Thank you for
At least
finding
I
this rare
think
artifact,
that's what
Cricket.
she's applying. Oh, and hi, Rudy.
Moody. You too.
But yeah, and again, I know we don't really need to tell you to not do this because I know you guys are cool, but again, you don't need to go to these people's pages and whatever and mess with them or anything. We're just doing this for fun.
Continue.
She hugged her bruised knees and kept her eyes hidden.
Not really. Even with the tall men, killers, and monsters on all fours, I am never scared. No one visits me anyway.
References.
She explained, as quietly as she had spoken her name. I was surprised at her response. In a moment, I thought she was crazy.
Raptor, why did you
Raptor,
never
I
tell
think
me
you're...
that you were the teacher from Charlie Brown?
Wait, what?
All I hear is...
Yeah, I was gonna say, Raptor, I think your mic was starting to go. Also, hi, Kobe.
Okay.
I was surprised at her response for a moment. I thought she was crazy. Then again, she had probably been here for quite some time.
So, where are you from? Well, if you had to wager a guess, with her black pigtails and schoolgirl uniform.
China.
Then,
A very far away place. It's very dark there. I don't like the dark very much. Bad things happen there.
Well, that's not a very... Isn't Japan supposed to be considered the place of the land of the rising sun?
I mean, that's what they put on their fucking idiots who fly their planes as weapons planes.
I
Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor joke. It's funny.
Raptor, did you just read that line? I'm sorry, your mic went out for a minute.
I was just making a comment.
Oh, okay.
Crumbled for a moment, and then sat in silence.
Why do you cover your face?
I asked, after feeling a chill from the cold air.
I don't like people seeing my face.
More eerie silence swelled in with the wind, and I cleared my throat.
Now, I think the eerie silence is awkward silence from this guy's sad attempts at flirting.
When do you think the fog will let up? I will need to get back to my camp before my parents get worried.
I looked at her, and she stood up. Something felt strange about her suddenly. A sad, demonic feeling overwhelmed me.
A sad, demonic feel. So tell me, what does a demonic feeling feel like? You know, does it feel like, like you're about to throw up? Like, you're getting your balls stepped on? Like someone's trying to cave your head in with a hammer?
You are getting oddly specific here.
What I do on my private Saturdays is my business.
What do we have to do to make it a story on the stream?
Give me money. And lots of it.
Raptor, give me all your money.
No, you do not rob my son.
I only have $9 anyway.
Wait, I thought he was our son now. Like I said on Rudy's stream, because somehow I got roped into his adoption last week.
I mean, I think we all have shared custody at this point. He spends holidays with me. You get him on weekends. Rudy gets him throughout the week.
No, Rudy, no. I already do that. You don't get any more.
No, give me.
Are you hungry?
He asked, walking to the door, falling off its hinges.
It's falling off his hinges because she had to break it down, because she doesn't understand how a real door works. She's used to the wooden framed rice paper doors. She's like, why won't this door slide like it's supposed to?
Why won't this
Fine, I'll
door
just walk through
open? Ching chong, ching chong. Alright, just one more time.
How can these houses...
You know it's not going to be just one more time, Raptor. You lie.
How can these houses stay standing after the slightest tremor?
Yeah.
I stood up as well, ready to follow inside. We walked into the house and I followed. Inside was a very well-kept bare home. There was barely any furniture, let alone dust. The windows were clean, the couch looked soft. Oh, there were even lights on in the kitchen area. I sat on the couch, which was nice and soft despite its seemingly aged upholstery. Probably say it.
Upholstery, you got
entered the living space. Good. She entered the living space with an old chipped plate and a bowl of soup, a shiny silver spoon.
And
Bullshit.
like that,
Oh,
Rudy
Chopsticks! Chopsticks! Get it right, writer.
Soup.
My favorite, cream of tomato, which one day I will make you try, Rudy.
Oh, you also have to chew out, Darius.
Oh, welcome, Darius.
He
He said earlier that he was going to be late, but what'd he do?
he was slanging off tomato soup.
Darius! I'm gonna hurt you. Also, for that pun, I'm slapping you with a rubber chicken. I'll go to pun jail.
She set it on my lap and went to get me a napkin and then disappeared up some steps. I sat alone eating my soup. It was sweet and warm and went down well. It had a red coloring with clear signs of vegetables flowing about. Okay, prediction here. It's blood. He's eating blood.
Sounds about right.
I ate thinking about my parents. Wait, I ate thinking about. Oh, I ate thinking of my parents. Wait, no, wait.
Soylent
me, like-
Green is people. I have a
me,
feeling
like-
that's the direction we're heading in.
This-
It's like, why are you thinking about your parents? Maybe they're closer by than you thought.
Now, would you like some cake? I started eating this cake thinking of my brother Andy.
Start eating this cake
I-
that looked and tasted suspiciously like pork.
I ate it
Now
just
here's
twice,
some milk
thinking
to
about my
wash it
Uncle
down.
Ben.
I drank this milk thinking of my Uncle Ben.
No, he thinks about his Uncle Ben eating wife. Get my funny base joke?
I
Yes.
get your funny Facebook. Now let's keep going.
Oh, base joke.
Here we go again. Cricket, no.
I had
Also,
been out along.
Rudy, just say the word soup. It is not like Voldemort. Oh, no, they said soup. At first they were like, no soap, no sop, no soup.
I had been out a long time, and we didn't walk that far. Shouldn't my parents be calling my name? I should be able to hear them from here. It was weird, ever since that fog rolled in. I dismissed my thoughts after my soup was done, and my eyes became drowsy. I set the plate, bowl, and spoon on the single table in the room and laid on the couch. My only thought was about the girl who disappeared in the house as I drifted to sleep.
Wait, what?
Someone's listening to 70s hits, and like, I can't tell if it's a movie that's being played downstairs or outside my house. I'm sorry,
Why
it's
not both?
distracting.
Wait. What about a girl disappearing?
Talk about like Alice Luna, I guess. Went up the stairs.
Oh. So wait, he's saying
I was
that
awoken in,
he's saying that Lulu disappeared while he was eating soup, but he just sat there eating soup regardless.
I mean, it's her house. She can do whatever she wants, I guess.
I guess. I'm just confused.
Also,
we all
Rudy asked, Kenzie, please explain the family arrangement between me and Manny and you and Raptor. Okay, so you're primary guardian, Rudy, where you Raptor wakes up, you send him off to school, he comes home to you, you cook him his favorite meals of, other dinosaurs and human and all that jazz. Manny gets him on weekends, taking him to the park and amusement places and all that. And I'm the cool one who gets him on holidays and gives him all the cool gifts.
Okay, and honestly
I like
though, I like Rudy's idea of them and Raptor being siblings. It's like, yes, because and then they get him during the week because we're just like letting the older sibling take care of the younger one. It's like, yeah, you guys, you do that while we do whatever.
Well, I mean, neither one of us were going to fight an eldritch abomination for primary custody, so.
I mean, I wasn't gonna fight anyone for primary custody.
Well, aren't you just a deadbeat?
I mean, that's how you're making me out to sound anyway.
You get him on weekends. I only get him on holidays.
I'll teach him how to do funny tricks with cigarettes and stuff.
You said that, not me. I was portraying you as the cool weekend parent. You take him out to amusement parks. Teach him how to throw a ball with his tiny raptor arms.
Yeah, we gave up on that. We went to soccer instead.
Right. See, you're a good weekend parent.
But that just led to a whole another bunch of bullshit. He's like, can we watch the World Cup? I was like, no, let's watch a real sport. I'm sorry, I should not be speaking ill of football with so many Brits in the comments.
Were we?
Reject football.
Oh,
I
do
mean,
we really
reject
have to go
soccer.
back to this?
Embrace soccer.
We need to at least wrap this one up.
No, I mean, do we have to go back to this one?
Um, yeah, I want to know where this is going.
All right, just I hope I have more lines to read as Fat Tony. Yeah,
Awoken in the darkness of the night by a loud scream from below, I shot up on the couch and looked around. There was nothing but the cracking boards in Halloween house. Howling house began to howl.
it was then I realized I wasn't in the house. I was sitting on top of a dog.
Also, I figured out where the 70s music is coming from. My mom's watching Saturday Night Fever because that is, for some reason, her most favorite movie, and I do not understand why.
Interesting.
I listened
Like,
for a few moments to
Imagine having your favorite movie be one that's starring John Travolta. Just think about it for a minute.
ever watch Saturday Night Fever.
Do I have
Was it?
to?
No.
Okay, then I'm not.
Honestly,
going to.
watching Saturday Night Fever for me is like reading a bad creepypasta where it's like no one's likable, so why should I be rooting for anyone?
Fair.
All right, where were we?
I listened for a few moments to the eerie silence of the house. Looked over to the table. I returned to my position and noticed that the dishes were gone.
Ooh, Lulu must have taken them.
Closed my eyes, was surrendering to the sleepiness. Sorry. As I drifted back to my dreamscape, a loud thud came from below and I shot up again. This time I stood up, certain this wasn't my imagination. What if Lulu was in danger? She seemed too frail to fight off anything that could have wandered in.
I'll
I needed to make
save you,
sure she was
milady.
okay.
Yeah, now I'm just picturing like some
Even a
obese white
lady.
guy with a neck beard and a trilby.
And remember, she's like 13 or 14 in Japanese, so it works so well.
But also, everyone, I wanted to say, don't picture the schoolgirl, picture Fat Tony from The Simpsons.
But with pigtails and a schoolgirl outfit.
Yes. He's hiding. He's in witness protection right now.
I gotta do a Reddit voice now.
What is a Reddit voice? Reddit's all in text.
Yes. If you
Is that Raptor?
was that British voice good for you, gang?
Yes.
My homies.
You're good.
Last thing I would have wanted to see. Last thing I would want was seeing her seriously hurt when I could have helped her. Carefully maneuvered my way around the dimly lit home. I went into a bathroom, a bedroom, a closet, yes, and then a basement door. I touched the knob of the door, and this eerie chill slowly ran its way down my spine. I was reluctant to open it, but thinking of Lulu, I forced myself to turn the knob and open the door. Behind the door, there was a darkened staircase, and a strong, cold, foul wind came up the stairs. Yes, I coughed a few times from the unsuspecting smell and took a few steps downstairs. Yes, as I descended to the basement.
You were kind of getting into film brain there for a minute.
I was gonna say, is it just me, or is it sound like Raptor's developing an Italian accent?
Oh, really? Because I was thinking he was falling into like a film brain cadence for a minute there. I was like, as I descended to the basement, the foul smell got stronger.
What you're saying is I basically wedded an Italian British wedded who was related to Film Brain.
Yes.
That is a sad, sad existence, my friend.
Mamma
It
mia,
wouldn't have went any other
chaps!
way.
But at least you're a dinosaur.
Yes. That kind of balances things out.
Manny,
My
no,
stomach.
no. Raptor is a minor.
I don't. That's why I'm so disturbed. That's why I put the 10 dots before that.
Darius, stop encouraging it.
My stomach began to churn, and my eyes watered. Yes, it smelled like there was something lying down in the basement, rotten. Yes. At the bottom, I found a switch and flipped it. The basement was now fully illuminated, or at least this part was.
The
You okay
basement
there,
was
Manny?
now fully illuminated. I made it a calzone.
At this corner of the room, there was another door covered in a deep brown rust-like color.
Avandanza.
Now I'm getting offended. How dare you mock my people?
My people too.
Lulu!
I called out looking around. There was no answer. I was starting to get worried. Where could she be?
Lulu!
I screamed louder, more anxious than before, and yes, I hurried over to the door in the corner of the room. I grabbed the handle and swung it open.
I hurried over to the door, got on the floor.
We are not
Did you, dinosaur?
we are not finishing this joke stealing that you are trying to set up.
I just thought it was appropriate with who's reading.
I know.
Oh, also, I've been meaning to say, we should be saying the name as Ruru because the Japanese don't have an L
No.
sound.
No.
Ruru!
No.
Oh, I remember the day of Hiroshima.
I stopped.
I stopped. What I had seen in that room made me lose everything I had eaten. No, there was an entire room with bodies, rotten, decaying bodies just lying there.
I'm
As
sorry.
opposed
I
to
saw
dancing
men.
around.
I'm sorry to
Where-
interrupt, but is anyone else remembering the episode of Aqua Teen where the monster living in their attic and they go up there and find out that there's just bodies everywhere?
Willie Nelson.
What? Make me stop what, Rudy? You cannot make me stop. I have samurai spirito.
Manny. I will get Marcy in here.
Hassan Chop!
I saw men.
Was it raining them?
Say it.
Women, and I guess you could say they were hanging around. The one thing they all had in common was their faces. None of me. Yes, I couldn't handle it. I backed away from the door and bumped into something. I slowly turned, and there's Lulu. Yeah. I was horrified.
Wait. Dress, arms,
I
and
thought
legs?
she was so. I didn't
he was
think she
pretty
could.
good with
I couldn't
punctuation up
even
until
think
now,
straight.
but sorry. You can keep going. I'm sorry. I was just trying to make a point.
I was just wishing this was all a bad nightmare. None. I was just wishing that this was all a bad nightmare. That none of this was real.
You have seen too much.
She looked up at me, her hair moving away from her face to reveal nothing but smooth skin. No, no. She had no eyes, not even open sockets. Oh
Wait,
no.
fucking what? That's okay. So she had overgrown bangs. Okay, so you still couldn't tell she never had eyes. Fucking retard.
This what begs the question. Does her skull still have the sockets? And there's just patches of flesh where her eyes should be?
Raptor's fading away.
He's been Thanos snapped. I don't feel so good, Manny.
Oh god, now I'm just thinking about our Godzilla thing last night.
Which you spoiled part of.
I really didn't, I promise. But the post credit scene of Godzilla vs Kong, Godzilla putting on the Infinity Gauntlet, going, "All right, I'll do it myself then."
I'd actually want to see that.
Oh, yeah, and I think it was after you left, Kenzie, but we started imagining that now Kong is like his face from the original Godzilla vs King Kong was due to a horrible accident, and ever since he's been a washed-up actor, like just drinking beer and telling his grandkids about like the glory days of his acting.
I mean, that's basically what happened to the guy who made Kong in the first place, the original movie.
So,
who tried to sue the people who made the original Godzilla versus Kong for using a guy in a gorilla suit rather than stop motion like the original, because he was always so adamant that Kong never be portrayed that way because it was too easy.
yeah, just Kong sitting there. I should have played Mighty Joe Young, but no, they gave the part to Harambe's retarded cousin Ephraim. Billy, be a pal and go get Uncle Kong another ape ale.
Is this another reference?
No, that's just what we were saying last night. Like, that's how he ended up.
Gotcha.
Should have asked his grandson for a banana. Because Kong's a monkey.
Okay, yeah, go get me another banana beer.
I'd try it. Here's the thing. I hate most beers. But like I've had flavored beers before that I can actually I'll actually tolerate.
Oh wait, Mike said, "Mr. Mandela, I don't feel so good." And yeah, I would just be like, "Ha, based."
Weirdest flavored beer I ever had? Jelly donut flavored beer. It was really weird.
Ew.
What?
Not kidding. There is a Dunkin' Donuts branded jelly donut flavored beer
God damn it, Duncan.
that my friend brought to a party once that I tried. And it was really weird because, it just tastes like beer going down. But then afterwards, you have that powdery, that powdered sugary aftertaste.
That is so weird.
It was so weird. But honestly, not bad. I'd drink it again. Now, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I could easily probably get diabetes from drinking a couple cans in one night, but.
All right, hold on.
You're looking up?
Yeah.
Can I have a No, Rudy!
Oh my
Did you
god.
find it?
Yeah. Harpoon. It's called.
That might have been it.
Okay, yeah. Is it for sale anywhere?
I mean, it was a very niche local liquor store that my friend got it from his area.
Okay, here. Dunkin' Donuts beer, where to buy.
Mike, don't knock it till you try it.
You get it. You better use it for the Empest research streams.
I could. Are you seriously looking to buy a case?
I was gonna say, like, if we get enough donations, I'll use that money to buy a case, and I'll just, and then we'll pick something to read, and I'll just get drunk on the beer the whole time.
You could use them for the Shark Boy and Lava Girl stream.
How much do the beers cost?
What was that?
Oh wait, here, harpoonbrewery.com.
How much do the beers cost?
I don't know.
Yes, I'm 21 or older. God damn.
So while Manny's doing that, Raptor, how about we continue with this?
Okay, will we?
We were on me. Your face.
I backed away from her, even further tripping over to a spread on the floor.
Clumsy
Her
fuck.
hand touched the smooth surface.
Oh wait, this is Manny. Do I have to fill in for his fat Tony?
No, wait, where is it?
My eyes.
Wait, I honestly don't see that.
Her hand touched the
Oh.
smooth surface.
Oh, God, it started the dialogue in the middle of the sentence. Fuck you.
Yep.
My eyes. You can't see them right now.
She flashed a small smile, as if she were embarrassed, even happy. No.
But I have.
Ooh.
But I have them. Ooh woo.
Oh.
Again, no one clip that.
Actually, I'd say go ahead and clip that one.
You can clip Manny saying ooh to your heart's content, just not me doing it.
No, clip Kenzie doing that too.
Never.
I was frozen. My heart was thumping in my chest. I could barely breathe.
Fading again a little bit, Raptor.
If I move a bit closer to the mic.
Better.
I was frozen. My heart was thumping in my chest. I could barely breathe. Then she moved all the hair from her face, smearing blood on her hands.
See? Do you see?
The skin around her non-existent sockets began to tear apart and bleed. She started to look so sad. No. So hurt. Oh, yeah. Not Tompkins. After a moment, she had deep, empty sockets, yes.
Now you've seen it.
She reached out for me, and I smacked her.
I'm just imagining like a little, a sissy little slap fight between two 13-year-olds.
You're fading out again, but I still just hear, yes.
Yeah. Get away from me, you fucking freak!
I shoved her out of the way and clumsily ran up the dark stairs. She followed.
Uh, You've seen too much.
I heard a voice echo behind me as I was running out of the house into the foggy woods.
Give me your eyes.
I looked back and I saw her standing on the porch. I didn't stop until I tripped over a branch and fell down a small incline. I managed to break my arm on a rock, making me scream in agony. Ouch, that hurt. And the bone was clearly poking out from a small slot on my arm.
I'm sorry for
Spot.
laughing. I'm just imagining the part from Arrested Development. Give me your hair. Pop up needs your hair.
Your pop culture references mean nothing to me. Am I this uncultured?
Watch Arrested Development. It's fantastic.
I don't watch much TV. I watch a lot of streaming stuff and then a lot of true crime documentaries.
In moments, she was sitting on my chest, her hands inches away from my face. I kicked and rolled until she was off me and made my way onto my feet. She kept yelling from my eyes, and I kept running blood spitting from the small opening of my arm. That's when I noticed us at the pond. I had just met her at that pond, which means my parents weren't far away. I found the tree I pissed on, and then the embers from the fire.
Real quick,
I ran
just
as
as from a writing point of view. So, you're in this tense chase scene. A monster girl with no eyes is running towards you trying to take your eyes. I found the tree I pissed on. You see how that doesn't work?
it'd be funny.
Teenage humor. Left.
Yes. Be.
Son of a whore. I can't find anything that anywhere around here that sells the Dunkin' Donuts beer.
I can talk to my friend about it, and if you want, I can send you some.
Please do. I will seriously do that.
I'll message him later.
Please do. God damn you, Darius.
What'd he do?
Yeah. What time? Okay, yeah, it was 4, but yeah. Ooh woo, Kenzie Cullen and Bean Dye Mandela 2020. And Cameron just says, ooh, piss tree.
Yep. Also, good night, Rudy.
Good
if
night,
you're
Rudy.
still there. Rudy, come back.
You go ahead, I'm not singing anything. You want me to sing, that's $20.
I thought it was 10.
No, it's 20 for singing, 30 if you want to come on the call and critique afterwards.
Well, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's $10 for a long story or a season of a show. $5 for a short story or a movie.
Well, wasn't it $10 when Rudy paid you to,
No,
or when Gemma told you to sing that one song, and then Rudy paid you to do it?
No, I said that it was actually $5 because I stupidly said you'd have to pay me like at least $5.
Yeah, because I remember Mark mentioning that like that's a really low amount to be doing that.
Yeah, and like literally right after you finished saying that, I got the notification on my phone, $5 from Rudy Jazz, message, sing it, coward.
Yep.
So I changed it to the 20 or 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shall we continue?
Please.
My prices do not rise every time, Darius. That's how it's been. You can check, go to Strams, go to pinned messages, and you will see my pricing there. It has been like that from day one. Ever since I finished doing the People Like Us stream.
Yeah, good save. Proceed, Raptor.
Okay. Yeah, I ran as hard as I could, and
I ran
stumbled
so
into the
far
camp.
away.
My family had jumped on my entrance.
What does that
Family had
mean?
jumped on my entrance. What? Whatever. I was suddenly so dizzy and tired from running. I looked around and I saw my mother. She looked so worried. The sunlight illuminated the camp and the fog was gone. I relaxed for a moment, feeling safe, and closed my eyes, yes. I woke up in the hospital. My mother standing above my bed. I had a tube in my arm and a cast on the other.
He got a
He
cast. I
had
thought he
laid
just got a
down to
small
give me a
cut.
kiss.
Yeah.
I think he said there was bone poking out.
You're cutting out again, Raptor.
I think he said there was bone poking out with the cut.
Well, yeah, but you don't get a cast from that. At most, he would need stitches.
No, but I think what Raptor's saying is it said that the bone was sticking out of his arm,
Oh.
which is fucking gross.
Where did it say that again?
I'm not going back and looking. Mike says, jumped on my entrance. Sounds a bit rude. Sounds a bit like bum, doesn't it?
Bum. Bum. Mine's with cum.
Raptor, focus.
Must be mother.
Did we lose him?
I don't know.
I'm still here.
Oh.
Ask who wants to be the mother.
Oh. I'm so glad you're alright. You leave for 5 minutes to use the bathroom, and you come back with a broken arm and cuts. Now how did you manage that?
5 minutes.
I slowly sat up.
I was gone for 5 minutes? But the girl, the fog, and the house, and the bodies.
Honey, there were no houses at our campsite. No girls who would talk to you, and most certainly no fogs.
I was at a standstill. I was in the fog. I saw the girl. She had touched my hand. She fed me. And those bodies. How? Out of the hospital by the time it was 11 o'clock, yes. And made my way home with my parents, yes. A fog had rolled in, but that was normal for the nighttime around here. I had set my alarm clock when I got to my bedroom, yes. Lay down in my bed, yes. I yawned and closed my eyes. I started to fade. I started fading out. The house was quiet, yes. The image of the girl was clear in my mind, yes. I had took a deep breath, and I heard her sob.
Give me your eyes, you little twerp.
This headline: seventh gruesome suicide. Boy takes his life by removing his eyes and bleeding to death. Parents found him early this morning, laying on his bed, deceased. His eyes, however, have not been found.
What is a bed deceased?
Yeah.
It was destroyed.
So thoughts?
Woo.
Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
I say, or I guess I should say, this story is a disgrace.
No!
Junk.
You dishonor us.
No!
Must commit harakiri. Die honorably.
No!
Sushi.
Benny! Okay, so, I was thinking next we'll do Raven. It's really short.
I'm really upset
Because
about this one because it just makes me think of Raven from Teen Titans, and she was cool, and now we got
yeah,
this.
but it's real short, so I'll just breeze through this one. Because then the one after this one that I want to do has a really stupid picture that we're gonna need to focus on.
Wait. I just have to say, right before you even start, this starts with saying well. As if, like, they're explaining something. As if we asked them a question. It's like, no, fuck off. No one's interested enough to ask a question about this.
All right, well, let's get this party started then.
Party. You keep using that word.
Well, I'm drinking. When she was 2, she saw her parents get murdered by robbers that had come in the end house.
Well, I mean, she was 2. She probably didn't comprehend what happened.
I think I just had a stroke there at the end, but nope, that's the way it's written. That had come in the end house. Luckily, they didn't see her, though. She was then put into foster care and grew up around people she's never known before. Well, that's what the foster system is. When she was 5, she hurt the foster parent that was watching her at the time, and she had to be hospitalized. And then she grew into a hateful, rebellious state in her teens and continued on hurting people. She did it when she felt angered or concerned or cornered. She was never at a house for more than a few weeks. When she was 16, she had a flashback of her parents, remembering the rage that she could never feel as a child. She burst out and she set fire to the bedroom, climbing out of her window into the cold night. Why is this not on OCs? This isn't a story. She went to a truck stop nearby. She had picked up smoking at around 14 and had a pack on her.
Edge.
In the TV was a breaking news about a foster home fire. She smiled at the feeling she had when she lit her room on fire. All of her stuff was in there, and all she had was a black and red jacket and a white t-shirt and black jeans. Ooh, I just banged my hip on that edge.
There was a foster home fire. Foster's is burning. No.
No, the imaginary friends. Max just running through. Blue. Little did he know that Blue was the one who said it, because as the seasons went by, he just kept becoming more and more of an asshole. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. Just like, and Blue's
like,
just like,
if Foster's had kept going, that's just eventually how it would have ended.
Blue's just walking away from the fire. You should have seen the signs.
He's just nonchalantly still failing at paddleball. Blue, you set the whole house on fire. Meh.
Okay, we really need to make this an actual story.
No. Think of the children.
Fuck them.
No, don't.
We're gonna make this story and make millions.
Funny of Fosters, you would have committed genocide.
All right. She left her
Same.
ID and everything that said she was a living being there. She was now non-existent and knew she could do anything. Well, I mean,
No, wait, was this when
there would have had to have been a body count after the fire was put out, and then, like, you know, neighbors, friends, anyone could have been like, well, there's a body missing here. Like, let's run some analyses and see if we could find out who's the missing one here.
Okay, now, from how badly this is written, I could be wrong. But if this is still talking about when she was 14, what ID?
I think this was 16. She could have at least had a learner's permit or, I don't know, something.
Okay, yeah.
Depending on what state.
I just assumed that because it mentioned her being 14 in this paragraph, that it was staying in that time. But with how bad these things are, I could very easily be mistaken.
Yeah. But she wanted to have the feeling again, to burn something, to unleash the rage she felt. 3 weeks later, there was a fire reported on local news. Family confirmed as killed in the fire. Authorities still have no information on the cause of the fire. The witness to call 911 said to see a young girl on her late teens down the street.
Whoa.
But it was deemed unimportant. Well, that was bad.
What?
How is that not an OC's?
And
I guess this was written by someone else. Oh, I think because it was written by someone else and not the creator of the wiki's friends or likers in the Discord she's admins in or whatever.
and why did it never like? Why is she called Raven?
Because Edge.
Well, Raven can go eat crow.
Hey.
Ah.
And
All
Kenzie
right.
just randomly turned into the fawns.
Now to the scarecrow, conveniently letting us know that it's female on the
What
in the.
Thank you, Arthur.
Now you're really gonna have to remove
I
I wouldn't have
the
owned.
Doge picture because we've got some
Oh.
art here.
Tell me why I shouldn't just end the stream after seeing this fucking picture.
Because dem titties.
Moo. No. She's not worth it. Not worth it for this animal abomination.
I mean, come on, talk about
garbage.
your butterface,
No.
am I right, boys? It's
No. Please. Get this animal away from me.
not even animal,
I
it's
am-
just edgy bullshit. With dem titties.
Ed.
I'm sorry, Kenzie.
What?
You'll see in a moment.
I mean, I'm also just seeing as the page.
No, I mean the chat.
Oh. What? That's what I said. I'm not denying that I didn't.
I mean, yeah, the face though. Yeah, this is just the girl that you just tell her put a paper bag over her head.
You mean you? I don't even swing this way. I'm just noticing titties.
I'm just saying you in the general sense.
The royal you.
Yeah. Bagel says straw booba. Yeah, again, how is this how's this a scarecrow? This is more like a Frankenstein's monster.
It has
Because
fucking
people
pointy
are
thing that's-
stupid.
That's that pointy knife thing that scarecrows have. Or I don't know what it's called. I don't care what
It's
about it either.
supposed
Don't tell me.
it's supposed to be a sickle, but again, it had the problem that we encountered last time where it looks more like a scythe.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care.
Also,
I was
hi
just saying that.
DG.
Hey, DG. Of course, DG shows up right when we're talking about tits.
My titty senses are tingling.
It's,
Oh wait, that's not the senses.
at least you didn't show up during the racism. Right?
What racism do you speak of?
Shut the fuck up!
Is Imperial Japanese honor?
I
Nippon
swear to God,
Banzai!
Manny, you are gonna get us nuked.
Gong.
Just like my two great cities were nuked by the American
Manny!
pig dogs.
I will beat you with an oar.
But they proved it was actually chicken and cow. We thought it was dolphin and whale.
Are you done?
And with that,
No.
Bean Daddy Channel was nuked, and we were never heard from again.
He had lived on his family's farm in Iowa his whole life. So morning chores were not uncommon to him.
Who lived on his family's farm in Iowa?
He,
Mama. Oh, it's your mama.
lifting his basket over his head, he made his way to the large cornfields far behind the barn closest to his house. The harvest season was upon him and his family, so they had been very busy the past few weeks. Riveting.
Why is he holding it above his head? That's going to injure you.
As he walked out to the field, he couldn't help but notice the scarecrow that was perched high above the swaying corn stalks. The old thing had been in the same spot for as long as he could remember, the years of wear obviously taking a toll on the old scarecrow. Her long, coarse black hair was a mess, her dress tattered and torn, and her pale body stained with dirt and crop dust. He thought to himself about fixing her up someday.
Okay, I'm just imagining, like, the father coming out. I told you to take down that damn perverted thing!
Yeah, so, tell me, So which family member was the one who gave such prominent straw in her chest region?
This is just the the
Hey,
sex, the
Abner,
Japanese.
what in the name is that supposed to be?
Yeah, why is that
It's a new
Scarecrow?
scarecrow, Dad.
Why is that there Scarecrow got them
Like
titties?
it.
No, you see, the kid, is just like some weeb pervert and ordered a Japanese sex doll, and this was
I was
his
just
way
about to ask. I was
of-
like, son, why does our scarecrow have a big plastic hole where the mouth should be?
and like this is his way. Like, this is how I'm gonna hide it. They'll never notice.
And son, why is it ripped at its crotch? The straw keeps spilling out.
It's none of your business, Dad.
Stop laughing like that, Raptor. It makes me uncomfortable.
I hope that's supposed to be a laughing sound.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Stop saying this about our shared son.
Big titty Scarecrow girlfriend. Manny is approaching hypercritical base levels. Ah, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Fuck up.
You two won't nuke us. And he has a repass. Got it from Goodwill.
Oh, forgiveness and peace, a Korean son.
He stood silently staring at his old friend, remembering how he shared so much with the inanimate object when he was younger and felt alone.
No.
Oh boy.
Scarecrow chat.
No,
Scarecrow trying to
Raptor,
make me feel like we were partner.
Raptor. You stop it.
Gonna-
Her eternal smile and blank
gonna give
eyes
it-
were comforting to him. A silent promise to never tell another soul all he had told her. It had been a couple
he had done to her.
It had been a couple years since he had talked to the Scarecrow. He had figured an 18-year-old boy would be better off not seen talking to a lifeless object.
That's just how he got home. I
It's
was
like-
stubborn.
It's like, son, I'm glad you're not spending time near that Scarecrow no more. Pa, she dumped me. Have some compassion.
Excuse. But I'm not even like doing like. I'm not gonna do like the dumb accent. Seriously, what the fuck, son? Why do you have to disgrace the family like this? I thought I raised you better.
Your
Dead to me.
mom is upstairs crying, son. Though to him, the Scarecrow wasn't lifeless. She was his first and best friend. And
No.
his waifu. They lived together, played together, aged together.
No.
Come to think of it, he had never noticed before that it seemed like the older he got, the older the Scarecrow appeared. He smiled and sat down beside the Scarecrow's pole.
Sorry, it's been a long time, partner.
He whispered up to his friend.
I've been real busy, I suppose.
The wind blew through the Scarecrow's hair and rustled the hay protruding from her body.
Yeah, I guess that's no good excuse. Sorry, but I met this girl.
No, he didn't.
Her name is Right Hand.
See, now I'm just picturing, like, I met this girl. He holds up, like, his hand, like, doing, like, the lip as the mouth, and just, like...
Yeah, the hand puppet.
Yeah, it's
thing.
got, like, lipstick, googly eyes, and a little wig on it. Oh, hello!
A date with rosy palms.
My name is Rosie! Oh, you're his ex? Let's go talk about all the embarrassing things he does!
She's amazing. I think, she might be the one.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, guys, let's place our bets. Do you think the Scarecrow comes alive
Scarecrow.
because she's Yandere Chan?
Yes. Scarecrow Chen is yandere.
Sudden silence
will-
filled his ears as the wind blowing through the cornfield abruptly stopped. The Scarecrow stood perched, completely still.
Would you like to meet her? I'm sure she'd love you. I'm having her up for supper tonight. I'll bring her out afterwards and introduce you to.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go over real well. Hey, honey, this is my
honey,
best
here's
friend.
My Scarecrow.
Like
Don't introduce yourself, buddy. Don't be shy.
the family just sees like an extra plate set at the table. Son, why are you like just like slams his hand out into the food? What the fuck?
Well, no, I'm actually like, imagine if like he actually just did bring over like a girl to meet a scarecrow. Honey, this is my best friend. Come on, say hello. Don't be shy. I'm going home now.
I imagine it would take a few
And then
more
she goes
seconds.
home.
Like,
Hi, sweetie. How was the dinner? We have irreconcilable differences.
Jesus Christ.
He told the scarecrow as he stood up. He glanced up at his dear old friend once more before heading off to finish his daily chores.
Come on, Lily.
He called to the girl, laughing as he ran with her towards the darkened cornfield. He was excited that his girlfriend had agreed to come to dinner and meet his parents, but was a bit nervous to show her his friend. What would she think? That you're fucking insane?
Yeah, is this like the beginnings of awareness?
He was almost an adult and he was still talking to an inanimate object. He smiled to himself. What was he talking about? Lily was so kind and sweet and understanding. Of course she would love to meet her. Okay. He turned back to see if his girlfriend was still following and couldn't see her.
Lily.
He shouted again as he looked around for her. He smiled.
Don't think you can hide from me in my own field.
Why does that sound so threatening?
Because it was read by a dinosaur. He said as he crept around. Okay, now it's worse. As he crept around silently looking for her, pushing through the corn stalks, he came upon the scarecrow's perch, seeing the back of his friend first.
Did we forget to mention that he's carrying a chainsaw as he's doing this? Yeah,
He's wearing the face of his last girlfriend.
Don't think you can hide from me.
Hey there.
He whispered.
I brought her to see you.
He broke off suddenly when he walked to the front of the scarecrow and found that it wasn't his friend who occupied the perch at all, but Lily. Her arms and legs were bound coarsely with dirty ropes and to the old wooden post, and her stomach coming open with her internal fluids dripping from the round. Oh, fun. His face paled and he dropped to his knees in shock. As his hands touched the ground, he felt a piece of paper right beside the wooden post. Hands shaking, he picked it up and read the poorly written message. Now you don't have to be so busy. He read aloud, his voice shaking and eyes filling with tears. He tore the paper and stood once more to look at the corpse hanging from the perch in front of him before turning around to meet the ever-smiling face of his dear old friend. Congrats! Now he's going to jail!
This guy got cockblocked by his former sex-doll scarecrow. Not even.
But really think about this, guys. It's a story about a skeleton that comes alive. Very common trope in fiction that you see, the threatening living scarecrow. Except the twist in this one is that the scarecrow is not only female and has dem titties, but is yandere.
Mike says,
really think about that. A yandere living scarecrow.
Mike says, big titty scarecrow girlfriend killed small titty human girlfriend.
Yep. And also, if like a 4-year-old introduced a scarecrow as their best friend, that could be endearing. This dude is 18.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I clicked on the link.
The link to what?
The creators page.
Oh no.
Paramore
I gotta see this for
and
myself.
Black Veil Brides.
Oh boy.
Oh. Oh god.
Okay, if you see this video, this awesome girl 21, seek counseling.
Okay, so let's see what this person's library is full of.
Do we have to?
Oh, no. Alice and the Hatter. Disney never tells you how the Hatter became mad, or his love for the girl who toppled down the rabbit hole one day. She's a child.
Wait, what?
Oh,
What is
look at this
this?
page. Look at Kelly's little sister.
Who's
Wait,
Kellen
Look how
Quinn?
wait, did
many
she
pages
write
there
these?
are. 69.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, Rusher.
69. 69 pages.
Oh my god. Here's a joke.
69.
Writer's Guide to quote Tev. I don't know what the name of this site fucking is. All the things you need to know to become a good quote Tev writer. Expect some rants from me. Includes book covers, titles, characters, grammar, and more. So basically, this is like a fan fiction site.
Oh my god.
Also, remember, don't actually go and bother this person. So anyway, now we are on to our final story of the evening. One that probably
Yay.
sounds very familiar to you guys.
Because we're ripping off the BCP crew now.
Except we're not really, because this is a different one. We're reading Eyeless Jack.
Wait, not yet. Creator La Mishi Mish. I gotta see this.
Alright.
La Mishi. More like La
With
Fishy
Stevie.
Fishy.
Oh god, that background.
What the fuck am I seeing?
AIDS.
Oh,
La Mishi Mish, if you see this, everything you do is
disgusting.
bad and you should feel bad.
It's not like their drawings necessarily are even that bad. It's just that.
Most of these are tracings.
Oh god, there's a Jeff the Killer one.
Uh,
And apparently it's a commission. Do you see it?
oh my god. Yeah. Oh, I see
Oh,
one with
It's
Jeff
money
the
for
Killer,
Jeff
the Tail
Killer.
Stall, Smile Dog, Eyeless Jack.
Yep. Yeah, I see one with Ben and I don't know who oh my god, Sally. So this person and I had a funny convo one day of Anna, I don't know, pretending to be a priest, teasing Ben and Sally with marrying them. Funny. Oh my god, I
Go
fucking hate
fuck
the comments.
yourself.
This is so much
Go
AIDS, so much
fuck
AIDS, so much AIDS.
yourself.
Why is there so much AIDS? Alright, let's see if there's a specific one section for Creepypastas art. Again, seriously, do not go and bother this person. Wait, I know we don't need to tell you this. Yup, Creepypasta right here. AIDS. I hate this so much. Yep, we have Nina the Killer, Ben
What?
drowned,
Wait.
the hair, I've never fucking heard of that.
Cameron knows what quotive is.
What's that?
Oh
yeah,
yeah. How can you tell they're yeah, just the way
clockwork.
the way they're posed. Like, there are people, they're not tracings per se, but there are people who just create like these bases that anyone can basically just like color over however they want the character to look.
Right.
That's
Suicide
exactly what
Sadie.
most
Oh,
of these
that's
are.
tasteful.
Suicide's. Oh my god.
Okay, her Mr. Widemouth looks terrible. Oh, and Squidward's suicide. How cute.
His hands.
So cute about my homie Squidward being killed. What's that for my homie,
The
y'all?
rake one just looks rapey.
Oh
Of
my
course
god, what?
Of course we have Jane the Killer.
Big Jane
Slenderman.
Lebowski.
What?
Big Jane Lebowski.
Yep.
It just gets worse. No, you
Yep.
stay the fuck away from the gorillas, you whore.
Oh my god, she did not. She did not. She did not. She did not. Where?
Right below the Slender Man and Jeff Hodek drawings.
What? God damn it, Eli, shut up.
Like the.
Still under Creepypasta?
Oh no, I'm just in the general gallery.
Oh. And so where is it?
Find the like the Ben Drown, Jane the Killer, Slender Man. It's in the row below them.
Oh, and don't bring studio killers into it either. I like them too.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls, leave them out of your bullshit.
Leave Parappa the Rapper out.
I have never watched Dragon Ball Z, but I'm sure
Yes.
a bunch of you guys don't want to see the.
Yeah. Stay away from Krillin. He's a king. He doesn't need your bullshit.
Oh, I can hear Raptor dying.
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh fuck.
Really?
I
She's
just probably seen
drawing
worse
anime
bunch.
uwu bullshit of the movie 9. 9 is like a cool movie. And
I actually know that movie.
yeah,
Why
and I
would
really
they disgrace 9?
God, this is just God damn it.
Why did no
Oh
one?
my god, she made human versions of the Five Nights at Freddy's bullshit characters.
Why did no one in her life
No.
ever tell her
Why?
to stop?
Ah! Oh god, why?
Like, you do not encourage this.
And you know, like we said, far be it from us to, try to dissuade people from writing or drawing or just pursuing.
No, I will dissuade.
But like, stop drawing AIDS. Please. If you want to draw, fine. Just
Oh my god, Sonic the Hedgehog OCs.
where?
Oh.
It's a while down. I've just been scrolling this entire time.
Yeah, I've been too now.
Momo the Kangaroo, Vic the Vixen, Mimi the Cat.
Vix. So Vic the Vixen, is that supposed to be? Oh, and of course there's Bendy and the Ink Machine OCs too, because that was trying so hard to be the next Five Nights at Freddy's. Except as the longer it went, the more complicated and bullshit it became. Yep. Ugh. AIDS.
Okay, and here's a picture of her, I'm guessing. Like, just in these eyes, you can kind of see, like, she knows there's shame in there, but is trying to...
Oh, no, skip over any real pictures. That's not okay. I think we should just end it. Like, okay, we get it. So, Eyeless Jack.
Yes.
And this,
Be right back. I
again,
need some water.
this isn't the Eyeless Jack that was read over on Bad Creepypasta. You know, the one with the half-eaten kidney and all that. This is something totally different, but still, it has the same picture and the same title.
It doesn't.
So we're
It
gonna.
doesn't have
So it's
sorry,
fair game.
Mitch.
We're gonna read it.
It doesn't have sorry, Mitch, so it's inferior.
Right. Do you want to start us off?
No, you should read this one.
Why?
No reason.
I feel like I'm being set up here.
No.
I don't believe you.
You're being distracted.
All right. Click. 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 Jack continued pressing the button on the remote, idly watching the different channels.
Okay, that was the start of the story. I thought you were, like, trying to trick me into saying, like, okay, clicking, going to story. Like, you were trying to lull me into a trap or something.
Wow. Ye of little faith.
I'm sorry, I just didn't think, like, something that... I don't know why I didn't think that would actually be in the story, but I didn't.
Nope, it's just that's the stupid way we're starting off this story.
Oh my god, it just gets worse.
Nothing really came on during the weekend, surprisingly. Nothing but paid programming and other TV shows he didn't enjoy. Sighing, the college student rose up from his sofa, making his way to the desk resting against the wall next to his bed.
Dr. Seuss, fuck off!
What?
Nothing.
Are you still on her way?
No.
Yes, you are! Get off!
There's no fucking Dr. Seuss characters! Fuck off!
Get off!
No! You can't make
There's only
me.
so much we can make fun of with bad art.
You're like 2 states away from me. You can't make me.
Off. Come on, we're reading the story now. We actually, like, have to.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I saw Homestuck. I'm done. I'm done.
There you go. Are you off?
I'm stuck. I like home stuck up my ass.
Raptor, you've already made this joke.
I still like it.
So fun, I made it again.
The joke so twice he... fuck, never mind, I fucked it up from the beginning.
May I continue?
Yes.
He was already done with his homework, finishing most of it in class that day. Unlike his roommate, Jack couldn't get his shit done fast enough to have the rest of the day to himself to do whatever. Yeah, unlike his bitch roommate. Fuck.
Driving Jack meant to be like just like a dude in this universe? Oh no, wait, Eyeless Jack. Fuck, is he meant to be like just a dude in this universe?
I don't know.
Oh god, is this like the origin of Eyeless Jack or something?
Probably. And it's not even canon because it's clearly made by someone who's just a weep fan.
Damn you, Mike. Also,
Wouldn't we?
Okay, Manny's getting upset. Origin story. Oh.
Well, let's see. He wasn't feeling to play any video games. I'm gonna read that again. He wasn't feeling to play any video games.
Nope. To quote Cope, nope. Upon reading it a second time, it is still retarded.
Didn't really want to drive out anywhere. Swiping his black hoodie off of his chair. Ooh, there comes the edge. Jack slipped it on and grabbed his dorm keys, shoving them in his pocket after closing the door behind him. A nice walk around the campus should do the trick. Do the trick for what? Fresh air usually calmed him, if not helped him think. Lately he'd been feeling different.
He had been feeling naughty.
He knew it wasn't his body, or college itself. He didn't have any girlfriends to worry about. He just felt different without any explanation. Yeah, that's the only thing that could make him feel different. He didn't have any girlfriends to worry about. You know, the only thing that could make him feel off sorts.
Incel.
He just felt different without any explanation. It gave him a headache. He was thinking so hard. Jack rubbed his temples, pushing the door leading outside with his foot. A gust of wind swept across the slamming door behind him. It was around 6 p.m. The sky was mixed with both orange and blue. The further the sky grew, darker it got. The further the sky grew, the darker it got. Okay. Curfew, surprisingly, was 12 o'clock midnight. What college dorm has a curfew?
Also, midnight, okay, that's not really a curfew. God damn it, Bagel.
What?
He's really homestuck up on this joke.
Yes.
I mean, it's more
Yes.
original than just a repeat of the joke, Raptor, no offense.
Homestuck, more like homestuck in a cave.
Raptor, stop it. He never really questioned it vocally, but always wondered why it was so late. Usually curfew was around 8 p.m. where he lived. What curfew do you have? What? Hi, Jack. The male, oh god, it really was written by an incel, looked up to see one of the girls in his class.
The male.
Ew. Women. Disgusting. Gross.
She most likely left class considering she still had her book bag on her shoulder. Jack half smiled and rose a hand to greet her. It was, oh, what was her name? Jenny. Jenny Smith. Really? Like, is the narration itself posing, oh, what was her name? What was her name? Alright, who's voicing Jack?
Hey, Jenny. Just now leaving class.
Jenny smiled and nodded her head, adjusting the strap.
It's pretty late. What took you so long?
It's
Are
pretty
you
Someone quote that. It's
pretty
pretty
late.
mate.
What?
Bean Daddy Mandela 2021.
It's pretty late. What made you stay so long? Are you stealing the Declaration of Independence?
The girl's smile lost its brightness for a split second before reviving. Oh, just a study session. We have finals coming up soon, you know. Best to stay on the ball.
Wait. Coming up.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Come
She
on.
giggled before tucking her hair behind her ear. What are you doing out here anyway? It's gonna storm tonight.
Yes.
Jack shrugged his shoulders before eyeing the sky and smelling the air for moisture. Yep, it would rain any second.
Yeah.
That smell. That kind of smelly smell. That
Yep.
kind of smelly smell.
Yeah, we got good rain coming.
It smells like dates.
It's pretty bait. Just came out for some fresh air is all. Got done with homework and class and stuff. Didn't feel like playing any video games or watching TV, so I came out here.
Jenny nodded her head every so often, pretending that she was paying attention, and smiled again.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you made that as a joke, but that's the impression I get from that.
Yeah, right?
Like, God, yes.
Well, you got your air. I gotta go, though. I'll see you later. Thank you for that pointlessness. Before Jack could reply with a goodbye, the girl quickly dashed off past him, following the sidewalk up around the side of the dorms. Jack rose a brown curiosity, his mind zipping with questions, only to have it cut off by a drop of rain. Then another, then another.
Shit.
He muttered, running back to the door to get back inside, not wanting to get too soaked in the rain. Another slam of the door rose up behind him. Jack started shaking his fingers through his hair, sending water droplets everywhere while wiping off the rain from his face and jacket. As he made his way back up to... The fuck?
Just the way it's like he shook his fingers through his hair, sending water drops. Like what is this? Like some bad porn or something?
Well, it was written by a fangirl.
Yeah. So I just hear careless whispers starting.
As he made his way back up to his dorm room, Jack began fishing through his pocket for his keys, whistling a random tune while he traveled up
like fish.
2 flights of stairs. Listening to his tune echo out in all directions. It was kind of creepy now that he thought about it. Where was everyone? It was too quiet for a Friday evening. Well, it was storming.
So wait, this loser was doing homework on a Friday night?
There was
Good.
There was usually people up and about. Maybe lots of students stayed behind for tutoring. Maybe some went home for the weekend. Maybe people are already in bed or in their dorms, being very, very quiet.
Why is he assuming?
No. Being very, very quiet.
But wait, why is he just assuming that everyone else is as lame as he is?
What?
Like, maybe they're already in bed.
Like, wasn't it like 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
Jack sighed as he began unlocking the door, shoving his keys back in his pocket after the door closed behind him.
Yo, Greg, you here?
Nothing.
Oh shit.
No
Jack is
response.
roommates with Onision. Not cool.
Nothing. No response. Just the sound of rain hitting against the windows.
Huh. Guess he's stealing the Declaration of Independence, too.
No, it's Onision. He's grooming girls. He's going to Nevada to go and marry a 17-year-old girl. Oh no, wait. That's when he was already in his 20s.
He was going to get kicked out of the Air Force again.
That's a first. Jack made his way over to his bed, slumping down to get ready to sleep. He pulled off his hoodie, kicked his shoes off, and rolled over to face the wall, not bothering with the covers. He just wanted some sleep. Closing his eyes, Jack slowly began dozing off, the rain practically lulling him to sleep. Alright, I'm rating this. No. Praise Chernobog, for his bloodstained hands will bring salvation to us all. He shall bring us closer to our everlasting paradise. He is our Lord and Savior. Praise Chernobog. Praise Chernobog. Okay, you're pronouncing Paco wrong.
Praise Chernobog.
Jack let out a gut-wrenching gasp for air, waking in a cold sweat. His eyes darted from one corner to another before rising up from his spot. He panted, feeling his hands tremble from the dream he just had. Jack looked around the room, relieved that his roommate Greg was in bed. He could tell he was fast asleep from the dreaded snoring that came out of him. Okay, full disclosure, I actually can feel that. I had a roommate who snored really bad, and I loved her to bits, but oh my god.
Becky, look at her butt.
What?
Nothing.
What did you say?
You said, oh my god. I said, Becky, look at her butt.
The fuck up.
Baby got back.
He himself was surprised he could sleep through it. Slowly, you can't. I needed earplugs. Slowly exhaling through his mouth, Jack rose up from his bed, staggering to the mini fridge on the other side of the room. His mind churning questions. What kind of dream was that? Never had he experienced one so real. Grabbing a water bottle from the mini fridge, Jack began gulping down the bottle, not caring if he woke up. Oh god, is he like a pelican? Just like gulping down the whole bottle. Letting out a cold sigh. What?
A cold sigh?
Jack tossed the now empty bottle into the recycling bin, now making his way to the bathroom. He stopped in front of the mirror, hands gripping the sides of the sink as he eyed himself. He was pale, eyes borderlining bloodshot.
Borderlining?
Yeah, that's supposed to be one word. Groaning, he let his head hang low, fighting the urge to vomit.
Man, what the fuck?
He murmured, running his hands across his forehead to wipe away more sweat. Okay, well, it's thought. That's what I get for playing those survival horror games, he thought to himself. Slightly swelling, he began brushing off the whole thing. Get it together, Jack. What do you want?
Get together, Jack. It was only a dream. Dreams don't come true, like that time.
Tell that to Disney princesses.
Like that time you tried to steal the Declaration of Independence. You've just played too much Silent House is all. No big deal. Just go back to sleep and get some decent rest. Easier said than done.
Is
I'm
National
so clever.
Treasure the only Nick Cage movie you've seen?
No.
Just checking.
Vampire Diaries or whatever that other film is called.
I've seen.
There's tons of Nick Cage movies. Face Off,
Yep,
The
Face
Wicker
Off,
Man,
Wicker Man,
Mandy.
The Rock.
I think don't talk about the film that kind of made him like a meme, like
Vampire's Kiss.
He was a vampire. Oh yeah, that one.
Or Kiss of the
Yeah,
Vampire.
no, not the Vampire Diaries. That's an entirely different show. That would much be improved by the inclusion of more Nick Cage.
I just want Jack here to say something about a door. So I can quote another Nick Cage movie.
That morning, Jack felt someone shake him awake. Raptor?
Okay. Dude, Jack, wake up, bro. You've got to see this.
Jack let out a tired, irritated groan from under the covers, slowly pulling them down to see what Greg wanted. The blonde grinned and flashed a photo on his phone in his face.
Guess who got laid last night?
It was a...
Oh god, no.
I didn't think we would need a trigger warning for this one. God damn it.
I mean, we
Well,
don't.
here... What?
But we don't. It's just the jokes we were making earlier about this being Onision.
It was a picture of some topless girl on his lap posing for the camera.
She looks drunk.
Jack muttered sleepily, his hand rubbing the sleepies. His hand rubbing the sleepies from his eyes. Greg blew air through his pursed lips, rolling his eyes as he closed his flip phone.
Flip phone. When was the story came out? Because who was using flip phones in...
Who cares?
I don't know. Yeah. You're just jealous.
Bullshit. I'd rather have a life than get some chick pregnant at college.
Touchy, good sir.
Back to
Fuck
Reddit.
you. I use protection. I use Shrek condoms.
Whatever.
Jack began pulling his covers back over his head, feeling the weight of his friend rise up off his bed. Good, he could go back to sleep. I think this is you, Raptor.
Like, dude, Pod or Willie?
Dude.
Dude, I had such a weird dream last night.
Jack paused when his mind processed the word. That's not a word, that's a phrase. Weird dream, and was instantly awake.
Yeah, also, that's not a word, that's 2 words. Really? Me too. What was it about?
Greg shrugged his shoulders, his fingers flying across the numbers on his cell, forming a text to his girlfriend.
I had a dream where my grandma blew up like a balloon and started chasing me around with a giant fly swatter.
Jack's fear and anxiety dropped. He turned his head to look at him.
What the hell, dude?
Greg laughed after snapping his cell shut.
I know, right? I hate that hag. Won't surprise me if she completes this. Me, I brought too much shit in her house as a kid.
Jack rolled his eyes, fully pulling the covers over his head, wanting to get more sleep in. Craig looked over and rose a brow.
You said you had a dream, right? You remember it?
Jack laid there in silence, wanting him to just leave already. The blonde furrowed his brow and began nudging Jack's back with his foot.
Oh, come on! Tell me! I know you're awake!
I had a dream about some guy preaching.
You say my dream is weird.
Honestly, the grandma dream is weirder.
Yeah!
I never said your dream was weird, but it is.
Anyways, go on.
Craig pulled his knees up, resting his arm on them as he listened. Jack sighed and rose up from his warm salvation of sleep.
There was this guy preaching about some guy named Chernabog, and that he'd lead everyone to paradise with bloodstained hands.
Some guy named Chernabog. Someone's never seen Fantasia.
Yeah, I was thinking of saying, like, you know, that guy from Fantasia. But
you know, the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Just imagining him, but in golf gear. Like, giant demon. Just with like, Hot Topic shirts. A trench coat. And the works. Or whatever. I don't know, I'm just grasping my claws for some jokes here.
And that he'd lead everyone to paradise with bloodstained hands. And those hands...
What ad is going on your side of the screen?
I have no idea. and that he'd lead everyone to paradise with bloodstained hands. And the hands that were knocking, he's knocking at the door! They were dressed in these weird-looking robes and wore these weird masks.
I don't get the reference.
That
I don't
was
get the reference.
Ghost Rider.
Oh, okay.
Jack looked over to his friend, watching him give a weirded out look.
You're so angry at me right now, aren't you?
I wasn't paying too much attention, so I'm not as irritated as I probably should be.
You played way too much Silent Hill and watched way too much Fantasia.
Nope, that's not what it says.
What the fuck is Silent House?
Like, did the writer of this
House.
fan fiction basically worry about getting copyright from?
Yeah. Oh, see you later, Bagel.
Oh, there was someone mentioned in the Silent Hill without our permission. New Kid
Bad Bagel.
Adauto.
Oh wait, Raptor, you want me to try that one?
Which one?
What you just said
Yes.
with a voice. Oh,
Yes.
say mention the Silent Hill
No!
without our permission.
Jack smiled a
This is
little
an
and shrugged
alternate-
his shoulders, relieved that his friend had said his thoughts the night before.
What can I say? I love horror games.
Jack spent most of his morning studying for finals, wanting to get school-related things out of the way before he could enjoy his weekend. Craig left to meet up with his girlfriend, telling
Craig?
Jack he'd be... What?
You said Craig.
Did I? That was an accident. Craig, Greg. They're both two YouTubers who are nonces.
Okay, I know who Greg is, but who's the Craig referring to?
Mini lad.
That's his name?
Yep.
Okay.
Greg left to meet up with his girlfriend, telling Jack he'd be back around 6. It was usually on Sundays when the two sat down together and played one of the many video games that had until it was time for bed. For Jack, that is. Sighing, he turned the last page over on his notes packet, memorizing his handwriting slowly. Suddenly, a knock at the door tore him from his studying. Jack turned his head. Are you happy now?
Yes!
Jack turned his head and eyed the door, then rose up from his desk to answer the door. Pulling it open, he was surprised to see Jenny standing in front of the door.
Oh. Hey, Jenny.
Jenny
He
smiled
just
and waved.
greeted a woman.
What?
Simp. Just greeted a woman. He's a simp.
Jack, what are you doing inside on a Saturday? Jack looked back into his desk before turning back to the girl.
Well, you see, Jenny, I'm a massive loser. I'm getting my studying done early so I can enjoy the rest of the day with relaxation.
Jenny nodded her head understandingly and placed her hands on her hips. Well, I'm sure you've done enough studying. You should come outside. Everyone's doing something a day.
Yeah, Jack, don't be such a incel and a simp.
Jack mentally sighed in relief. Good, so people were here today.
I'll come out when I'm done, I guess.
Jenny giggled and nodded again. Stop giggling. Nothing funny was said. Okay, see you later.
What an incel.
Nice giggle.
Well, thank you. As just like that, the student was off in a flash. Jack smiled a little before
Flash.
closing the door, making his way back to his desk. He sat down and began rereading the page of notes, keeping everything fresh on his mind. Then it hit him. How did Jenny know where his dorm room was? They never really talked to each other, let alone... also, each other, no space in between. Idiot. Let alone shared dorm room numbers. It kind of gave him a creepy feeling at first. But then,
Okay,
his realist
Okay,
side...
prediction.
What?
He's Trinabog. He's Trinabog in disguise.
We'll see. But then his realist side
imagine it's the
thought
full one, like-
otherwise.
It's just Trinabog in a wig.
Yeah, and not just like Chernobog, it's like the whole ass mountain coming from his lower body.
Just like hiding the massive wings underneath like that little tiny book bag.
just like having to like hop with that mountain slab. Like, oh, I wondered what that thundering sound coming down the hallway was.
Maybe she's. I guess this is him thinking to himself. Maybe she saw you come into this room once without you noticing. Maybe Greg had told her what room. Oh, now we're back. Maybe Greg had told her what room he lived in, and it just so happened that Greg and he shared rooms. Shaking his head in frustration, Jack rubbed his temples.
You're just overanalyzing everything, Jack. No need to fret over pointless stuff. I mean,
He said to himself.
maybe you should
What?
just, destroy that pool table you've been building and then try and murder your own children.
He said to himself, running his fingers through his hair. Maybe he was done studying for the day. Again, he swiped up his hoodie off of his chair and slipped it back on, along with his shoes before heading out. When he got to the bottom of the stairs, he felt himself breathe another sigh of relief when he saw how many students were up and about. Glad to know he wasn't going crazy. Are you sure about that?
the wall just ripped open and John Cena poked his head in. Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, the car crash was many years ago, dude. You gotta let me go.
He watched as some people played ball, tossing either a football or baseball. Girls were huddled in groups outside, talking about Lord knows what, not that he cared. He was just happy to see people. Just then, a hand crept over his shoulder. Jack looked back to see who it was, none other than Jenny. Again.
Again.
Oh, hey, Jenny.
The girl smiled. Stop laughing. You're outside of that dark room. Took my advice to come out, eh? She's Canadian.
Seriously, though, it's like, Jack, get a clue. She's trying to get in your pants.
She wants to fuck.
She's trying to kill you. Trying to sacrifice you. So she can do.
All of those things are not mutually exclusive. Jack smiled nervously, giving a nod or two.
Simp.
You should hang out with me and my friends. We're going for a walk in the woods. Jack rose a questioning brow.
For what?
Jenny laughed. You're making it sound like she's talking. You can't do that. We're just hanging out at our place. Come on, don't be a wuss. Jack felt a little hesitant at first, but he slowly came around and agreed to follow. Jenny grabbed him by the hand and began tugging him along, making sure he was close. Hooray! Off to the cave!
Okay, like, all simp jokes aside for a sec, it's like, oh no, why would I want to go and spend a day alone with a bunch of attractive young women? Oh,
You're
the
assuming
horror.
they're attractive.
Yeah, okay, but still.
Such a simp, Manny.
I mean, knowing this kind of writer, she's going to make them all attractive, probably envisioning themselves as her own self-inserts.
Yeah.
But, you are just assuming.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, you're up.
The cave, capital C?
Jack asked, watching the forest grow bigger with every step.
Okay.
Okay, not grow bigger, grow closer.
Yeah, okay.
Growing bigger would mean that the trees just keep growing and growing and growing.
It's like, okay, so they were on the campus and they're already at the forest.
Our hangout, silly. Sarah found it at the beginning of the year, so we decided to make it a hangout area for us.
Us?
Jax asked again, looking back over his shoulder, watching the school slowly get consumed by trees. Me, Sarah, Bobby, Fred, and Luna. Of course there's a Luna. You ask a lot of questions.
Okay,
That's not vaguely threatening.
person who dribbled this story out, I'm gonna tell you this right now. No one in real life is named Luna.
There are, mostly because, millennials are now really seem to have a boner for that name.
God.
So, I know at least one YouTuber who's named their kid Luna already.
Oh.
And don't ask me how I know this, but you want to get real mad?
Okay.
PewDiePie said he wants to name that his daughter's when he has one.
No. Oh,
on, man.
Pute. Why? Why, Pute? You were the chosen one.
I
You're
was
supposed to destroy the Quinch, not join them.
Yeah, I had been sticking up for him ever since he started like outing soy boys and stuff, but now just um
Jack couldn't help but let out a nervous laugh.
sorry, I don't mean to. I'm just looking for this girl who was kidnapped. I've been having a rough weekend is all.
Jenny looked back at him and smiled. It's okay. We all have our days.
For a second there I thought it said it's okay, we have drugs.
I wish. As minutes passed, the two walked around what seemed like an invisible path that only Jenny could see. Jack couldn't help but begin to worry. He was about to open his mouth to ask another question until the girl released his hand, punching her fist in the air. We're here, she sang, running ahead of the boy. Jack looked up to see a rather large cave next to a babbling
I want
brook.
this girl to die.
No one says fucking babbling brook. Shut the fuck up.
Wait,
He watched his...
it actually
he
fucking
watched-
says that.
Yep. He watched as
Boom.
two girls and boys
Get it.
appeared from inside it, greeting Jenny happily, until they saw Jack. Their smiles faded and they began leaning into Jenny, whispering while keeping their eye on him. Jack felt a little nervous, feeling as if he shouldn't be there at all and that he should be back in his dorm room playing Silent House. Oh my god! It's... No video game is called Silent House! But Jenny looked back as well, gesturing him to come forwards like it was okay. The brunette took a deep breath before making his way over, eyeing over everyone but Jenny. All of them still didn't look pleased despite their forced smiles.
Hey.
Jack rose a hand, giving a wave. Sarah eyed him over before crossing her arms. Hey! She said bluntly. Hey, said Bobby and Luna. One of you can be Fred. One of you be Fred.
Sup?
I'll be Fred.
Fred smiled, shoving his hands in his pockets. What's he doing here, Jen? I thought it was just going to be you. Jenny rolled her eyes at Sarah's statement and wrapped an arm around Jack, her free hand patting him on the chest. I thought it would be cool if you guys met Jack. He's a really cool guy, honest.
No, he's not. You fucking
Luna
liar.
and Bobby looked at one
Just
another
simp,
while Fred
Jenny.
nodded. Fred.
Fred now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What voice can I do for Fred?
Have you ever seen Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
No, not Fred Burger.
Yes, Fred Burger.
I read about him! Straight A student, smart kid!
I know his
That's the best
pant size too, apparently. What else do you know about him, Fred?
He's a simp!
Fred walked over to Jack and began leading him inside the cave, rambling on about what kind of video games he liked. Leaving the group outside, Sarah shot daggers towards Jenny. Jenny gave the stink eye back. What the hell do you think you're doing, Jen? You can't let outsiders into... I'm not going to find anything out. Be nice for a change, Sarah. Sarah glared, then grumbled under her breath, following after Fred. Luna and Bobby looked at one another before going in as well. Wow, Luna and Bobby seem like real intelligent folks there.
They just
Don't
share
have any
one mind.
opinions or some shit.
Just powered the hive mind of this after school club or whatever this is supposed to be.
God, how much longer is there? I'm getting hungry.
We've been going for 3 hours now.
Have we?
Yeah.
It just
Oh,
says
shit.
2 hours on stream. Oh, well, yeah, I guess we just hit 3 hours on call. All right, let's
This was
try to
kinda-
speed run this one
a
more.
lot.
The group settled inside, everyone huddled around a fire in a circle. Jack sat in between Jenny and Fred while the others completed their small circle. Jack felt uncomfortable, especially with Sarah giving him dirty looks every so often. But surprisingly, the evening wasn't all too bad. Everyone got to know a bit more about him, asking questions and talking about what they enjoyed doing, talking about schools and exams. Jack looked around the cave as they spoke. It was cool inside. They had tables and desks, places where they set up books. They even had a compartment for food. It really was like a place to hang out. I guess I was worried about nothing, Jack thought, smiling at the comment Fred made. We're not going to tell you what it was.
Yeah.
There was a sudden clap of thunder from the distance, causing the group to look up at the entrance of the cave. Another storm?
I just have
Sarah
to comment real quick. It's like, everyone had fun, except they didn't like Jack because he wouldn't shut the fuck up about some game called Silent House.
Yeah, they're just looking at him with confusion. Jack, that's not a fucking video game. Another storm, Sarah complained, rising up with a book bag over her shoulder. I'm leaving. Last thing I want to do is get caught in the storm. Bye. Sarah turned on heel and ran over to her bike resting up against a tree and rode off back to the school. Luna and Bobby both rose up together. Did they just share a brain?
It seems like it.
Yeah, they just part just one big hive mind.
They're the
So,
two
other
creepy
students.
twins. Come play with us, Jack. Forever and ever.
And
We don't want to get wet either. We'll catch you guys later, okay? Luna said, smiling over at Jack and the others. The duo both pulled their book bags up off the ground, running off to try to beat the storm. Fred didn't move.
I'm gonna stay here a bit. There's some things I need to get back here. You guys can go on ahead if you want.
Jack looked to Jenny before getting up off the stool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back too. I still haven't found that missing girl. Greg's probably back and might be wondering where I am.
Jenny smiled at him and nodded. Okay, I'm going to help Fred. Just follow the same path back to the school. I'll see you later, Jack. Jack smiled and waved goodbye to the two. He, too, making his way out of the cave and into the forest. It shouldn't be too hard to get back if he followed Luna and Bobby from afar. An hour passed, and Jack began unlocking his dorm with the keys, opening up the dorm to find Greg on his laptop on the sofa. Greg looked up and smiled.
You, Jack, where have you been?
He asked, surprised that Jack had stepped out altogether.
I was invited to come look at some secret base in the forest behind the school.
He replied, closing the door behind him while he began kicking off his shoes. Greg rose a brow and closing his laptop.
Oh, really? But by who?
You know that Jenny girl, the one who's always giggling for no reason in our first period class?
Greg's smile slowly faded.
Dude, Sim. Dude, she's weird.
Jack furrowed his brow in confusion.
Okay, I just gotta say, I don't know about you guys, but in my college, we never called it first period anymore. That ended in high school.
Yeah, you don't have periods, you just have classes, and everyone has them at different times and shit.
Yep. Oh, what do you mean she's weird? Weird like, how?
Greg looked away nervously before answering. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning.
I know the
You know what
feeling.
kind of shit she reads? She has, like, books upon books upon books about these creaky-ass coats. I shit you not, man.
Jack rolled his eyes before walking over to his dresser.
Dude, like, I'm serious. You shouldn't hang out with her. People who read that stuff are messed up in the head. And even if she wasn't messed up, you shouldn't hang out with her anyway, because she's a woman, and that makes you a simp.
Yeah, whatever.
Jack replied, rummaging around through his clothes.
I'm gonna take a shower. We have another storm coming.
Greg blinked and looked back at their window.
Okay,
Oh,
wait.
man.
Wait. So, they heard the thunder. It took him an hour to get back to the dorm. Now the storm is just starting?
Greg is very oblivious and stupid.
Yes.
Like the Greg in real life.
Yes.
Oh, man. Really? I was gonna go out with Gabby tonight.
Have I mentioned I'm heterosexual today? He moaned sadly, watching the clouds churn into a deep gray. Jack chuckled at his friend before going into the shower.
You know, just because it's raining doesn't mean you can't go out. Raptor, I think that's you.
Yeah.
Wait, lost track. Jack, wake up, Jack.
Jack felt Greg shake him, groaning in anger.
Oh, what? What is it?
He asked, looking at a nervous Greg. Greg looked over to the window.
Dude, there's someone out in the forest lighting fires.
Jack rubbed his eye with his palm.
Don't worry, Smokey'll beat them with a shovel.
Smokey's dead. He's been dead since the mid-70s.
Do what?
Someone is outside, lighting fires. Look.
How do you know someone's lighting fires and that lightning didn't cause, a forest fire?
Yeah.
I just saw him.
Greg pulled him out of the bed and pointed out towards the forest. Jack sighed, still rubbing his eyes before looking out the window. To his surprise, there was a fire lit, but it was far back into the woods, almost around the area where Jenny's select base was.
Select base!
All your bases all belong to us.
Well, I'll be damned. There is a fire.
He muttered, noticing the storm had stopped.
What time is it?
2 a.m.
We should go check it out. That looks
No, it's not your problem!
Yeah. No, your response should be, we should call the fire department. That looks like it's where their little hideout is.
Craig gave Jack a freaked out look of, you're out of your fucking mind.
What?
Why can't you just say he looked at him incredulously or something?
Yeah, seriously. What? I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation of why someone's out there lighting fires, and besides, that's where I'm supposed to meet up with the secret agent played by Sean Connery.
Yeah. Oh, go.
Oof, burn! Jack shot him a look.
Dude, get over yourself. There is no cult.
I call bullshit. I'm not going.
Jack smirked.
You chicken.
How old are they?
Caw,
He
caw,
asked.
caw.
You're a turkey.
He asked, watching Craig get flustered.
Dude, seriously, don't go. Last thing you want is getting in trouble.
Jack rolled his eyes.
Whatever, I'm going to check it out. If there's anything wrong, I'll report it to the headmaster. The
Jack changed-
headmaster?
You mean dean or president or whatever?
Well, does this story take place in the early 20th century or the 1900s when that phrase would be in use? What am I getting at? Does the story take place in some sort of weird retro future thing?
Okay, Raptor, bear with me for a minute, but I think that the writer might be an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think they were smart enough to get into college, so she's just writing this thinking, this is college, right? People hanging out in caves and having dorm rooms having curfews and the head being called headmaster.
Yeah, she couldn't get into college in this day and age, which is a fucking feat when they'll take fucking anyone.
Well, depending on
even
what
take
college.
me.
True.
Jack changed out of his pajamas, dressing in jeans, a blue t-shirt along... Oh, we can't forget his black hoodie! And shoes.
It's the thing. It's the hoodie.
Pulling out of their emergency flashlight from the desk drawer, Jack walked over to the door.
I'll see you in a bit.
He called out, watching Craig shake his head.
Curiosity, kill the cat, man. Kill the cat.
Okay, I just had to say, because there's no comma between cat and man, curiosity killed the cat, man.
He called back, watching the door close. Jack pulled his hood over his head and began making his way down the stairs. It was probably just Jenny and her friends hanging out at their spot late at night. I mean, loads of people do that, right? Stop having that kind of casual dialogue in the narration. It's weird. It sounds like the writer's trying to convince herself. Lots of people do that, right? This is what social interaction is, right?
Oh god, I have no friends.
The second he walked outside, Jack felt the air shift from normal to damp and chilly. He began making his way towards the forest, using the flashlight as much as he could to follow the path Jenny led him down the previous day. Jack started growing nervous, listening to the sounds of life at night in the forest. Easy now, Jack. There's absolutely nothing that can hurt you in the forest. Nothing.
I'm sorry,
You
what?
need to better establish when he's thinking.
There's nothing in a forest that can hurt him?
Yes. Wolverines. Bobcats.
Wolverine! I love
Fox.
that the first thing you go to is Wolverines.
No, the first thing he said was bears.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Wolves.
Minutes passed as Jack finally began
fight.
growing. Getting.
Geese.
You done?
Ducks. Geese. Swans. Viruses. Bacteria. Okay, I'm done.
Minutes passed as Jack finally began getting closer to the cave Jenny showed him before. He could see the dim light from afar and talking. So we saw talking.
Oh, can I do this next voice?
What voice?
The one coming up after this paragraph.
Oh no. I'm preacher, remember?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, but I have to. Loud talking, but it didn't sound like Jenny or Bobby or anyone else from the group. The closer he got, the clearer the voice. Turning off his flashlight, Jack peeked around a tree. What he saw shook him to his core. There, standing outside of the cave, was a group of robed people. Judging by their height, they were students, both male and female.
Oh, wait. Judging by their height, by the time you're in college, you're fully grown.
Yeah. Again, I don't think this girl probably wrote this when she was still not in college, probably like when she was in high school.
Or even middle school.
I'd say high school. They all wore black robes and blue mouthless masks with big eyelets and holes.
Oh.
Also, they were both students, both male and female, because you could outline them titties in the robes.
What's with you and dem titties tonight?
Because them titties. One of them began stepping up to a podium. He rose his hands in the air, like he just didn't care. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for joining me on this night of nights. As opposed to the other night of nights. Or the Tuesday night of nights.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Tonight is the night we summon our Lord and Savior, Chernabog. The group below him cried and called out things like, Praise Paco, Chernabog, and All Hail Chernabog.
Praise Chernabog! All hail Chernabog!
Tonight is the night when Chernabog will choose his sacrifice. The one who will lead us to paradise and free us from this hell.
Chernabog! Chernabog! Chernabog!
Yes, the group of students began cheering, chanting the name of Chernabog. Like it's a football game. Chernabog! Chernabog!
Chernabog! Yay!
Okay,
Chernabog!
we get it, Raptor.
It's
Okay, sorry.
don't you know it's
It's like doing that voice.
It's
funny.
the north end the north end Chernobyls. That's the opposing football team.
The other
But
side
why would
is
they be rooting for him then?
Van Beelzebubs.
Because they're traitors.
We didn't want to get into the school anyway. We got waitlisted at the Chernabog school.
Maybe if we keep simping for them, they'll let us in.
Maybe if we sacrifice one of our own. They present it to the dean of the other school. Now will you let us in? Oh god, we just want you to up your grades a little bit.
We're never getting through this.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
You were about to say we're almost done, weren't you?
I mean, we're almost kind of done. We're getting to the climax.
We're getting there.
Jack shook
Can
his
do
head
it
in
again.
disbelief. Shut up and let me read so we can end this.
Oi.
I'm sorry, that was mean. Jack shook his head in disbelief, slowly backing up from the tree he hid behind.
Oh my god, there really is a cult. I think they're trying to steal the Declaration of Independence.
He murmured. Jack turned to run back to the school, only to be stopped by Jenny, who was standing there the whole time.
Jenny, thank God you're here.
Jack ran over to her.
There's this cult thing. We gotta go tell someone. And I need to go
In a
switch
woman.
faces with John Travolta.
Jenny smiled. Cult? There's no cult, Jack. You're just overreacting. She chuckled, suddenly feeling Jack shake her by the arms.
Oh, okay, at least it's chuckling this time and not giggling. No! Listen to me. We need to get out of...
Jack's words were cut off from a rock against his head.
What?
His eyes fluttered slightly, stumbling back before collapsing on the ground with a thud. Blurry figures began circling around him as he watched Jenny smile down at him. Then everything went black.
Well, that went from 0 to 100 real fast.
Jack awoke from a bucket of cold water being dumped over his head. Okay, I don't think water over your head,
Is going to
wakes
help
you
with...
up out of a concussion.
Yeah. Oh, and see you later, Mike. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, Mike.
Yeah, the concussion, the cracked skull, probably the bleeding that's going on right now.
Blood trickling down the side of his head onto his ear and the side
Called
of his
it.
face. He winced, feeling his head throb in pain. The second he remembered the last thing he saw, he gasped, looking up to see what he was sitting in front of everyone. That he was sitting in front of. His arms were held firmly behind his back. The leader of the cult walked up in front of him and smiled under the mask. How would you be able to tell? Chernobog has found his sacrifice! Hail Chernobog!
Yeah, we should have just been saying Paco the whole time.
What?
We should have just been saying Paco the whole time.
I know, but Chernobog is funny to say.
Yo, Chernobog.
He called, listening as the group repeated the phrase. Jack attempted to struggle, the pain of his head fighting against him. You shall become one of Chernobog's sons! He's adopting him. The chosen one
Yeah,
to live
I'll
upon
adopt
this
this
wretched
Jack
world
last
and do his
name.
bidding! Okay. You know what? I'll wait till the end. The group cried the phrase once more. Jack shook his head as fast as he could. Raptor!
I just couldn't help it.
You know, that Jenny, she really wants to churn Jack's bog, if you know what I mean.
Shut the fuck up, Manny Reed!
No, all of you are crazy. Let me go, I need to switch faces with John Travolta.
He yelled, letting out a yelp of pain from his arms being twisted. The leader laughed, turning to the group behind him. Come, my brothers and sisters, help me change this non-believer into a son of Chernobog.
This fucking dialogue.
The group chanted the phrase, stepping closer to form a large circle around them. Praise Chernobog!
Praise Chernobog! For his bloodstained hands
Raptor,
will
I
bring
swear to God,
salvation to
I
us all! He will bring us closer to our everlasting Christ! He is our Lord, our Savior! Praise Chernobog! Praise Chernobog!
Let me read, goddammit! Guys, I think we're finally losing it. Okay.
See you
Okay.
later, Darius.
Guys,
Yeah, oh god, yeah, this is... Yeah, it's fucking like 12:30 at night for you, man. Get some sleep.
we're down to 3 watchers right now. I think we've made everyone uncomfortable. Okay, let's just... Alright, let's breeze
Made
through
them
this before we
uncomfortable?
lose
Don't
anyone
worry,
else.
I'll get out the candles and the massage oil.
Okay. Praise Chernobog, for his bloodstained hands will bring salvation to us all. He shall bring us closer to our everlasting paradise. He is our Lord and Savior. Praise Chernobog! Praise Chernobog! He cried once more. Jack listened as the group began chanting in a different language, as he felt his heartbeat grow faster, watching one of the group members walk before them with a tray of tools in the... Raptor, I want to eat!
Sorry.
And other queer objects. They're all rainbow colored.
Queer.
Oh, gee.
The-
Thank you, Cameron. It sure is nice to see you guys lose your goddamn minds.
Isn't it, though? The person pulled off their mask, revealing it to be Jenny. Oh god, I should have been reading in that. She smiled, taking a spoon from the tray.
A spoon?
Isn't this great, Jack? The great Lord Chernabog has chosen you to be his son! Jack shook his head, tears flooding his eyes. I think that's you. Oh, no, it was me. I never knew you'd be the one!
Kenzie, there was nothing there that said she giggled.
I don't care. I've committed.
Okay, I respect that. No, Jenny, no. Please don't do this.
He begged, watching her stop in front of him. She
John
giggled.
Travolta.
Here we go. She giggled, placing her hand on his forehead. Hail Chernabog! The girl then stabbed the spoon in his left eye, ignoring the cries of pain Jack let out. He squirmed and struggled against the two who had held him down, feeling his eye being gorged from its socket. Hold still, Jack! You'll make me kill you! Jenny said with complete calmness as she began working on his other eye, watching blood spurt and trickle down his face, still ignoring his cries and pleas.
Also, that's
the
not
leader
how you
stepped
spell
in,
spurt.
holding a bowl of black hot ooze in his hands.
It's alright, it's just a bottle of ooze.
Ooze. It's Nickelodeon Gak.
The secret of the ooze. The secret of the ooze that's finally being revealed to us.
It's Gak.
Behold, the sight of Chernabog!
Is it Toka and Razor?
He called, watching Jenny hold his head still and began pouring the tar-like liquid inside his eye sockets. Jack let out a blood-curdling scream of pain, feeling the substance overflow and trickle down his eyelids. Placing his hands on Jack's forehead, the leader began chanting the same language as the others. Watching as Jack's body became limp and lifeless, he watched as Jenny held a book open to a passage of a different language.
I just had to say real quick, yeah, the leader comes up. Babies! They're babies!
Oh, great. Another reference. Thank you, Manny.
It's Ninja Turtles.
I don't remember that.
When he's like,
Yeah,
because he's like, you will call me master. Yes, Mama. He's like,
you my mama.
Babies, they're babies.
Babies.
Okay, can I finish? We're almost there. Rise, great Lord Chernabog. Rise into...
Let me give you.
Raptor, I am so hungry right now. It is not the time now. You're testing me, boy.
Sorry.
Oh, you got called boy.
I am so hungry, and I have enchiladas in the fridge.
Oh.
Give yourself to this vessel. Be one with the vessel. Rise, great Lord Chernabog. Rise, 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 rise.
Wise. Do you hear or feel, or do I smash the mule?
Panting heavily, Jack rose from the now dead body of Bobby, yanking off the...
What?
The now dead body of... I thought Jack was the sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yanking off the mask he wore like the others. Standing up, he looked over the massacre he every single person was dead. Masks torn off, throats slashed, guts cut open, eyes gouged out. His hood and pants stained with blood. Scalpel in hand, Jack turned to the last living person. Jenny, borderlining death again, should be one word, watched as he stepped above her. His skin had turned black, teeth sharpened to a point, nails long and sharp. He wasn't human anymore. She smiled, blood leaking from her mouth as she smoked. Release me into everlasting paradise. Jack growled low, teeth showing.
I just had to say, Cameron says, Kenzie about to murder Raptor for a meal.
Yeah.
You don't deserve paradise. None of you do.
He knelt down, swiping the mask from the ground.
burn in hell. All of you.
Jenny watched as he pulled the mask on, the black substance trickling down onto the mask from his eyes. She grabbed a hold of his ankle weakly, begging to be released to paradise, only to have him pull away from her before walking off into the shadows. She cried, tears were rolling down her face as she called out to him until her last breath. This just in, a group of... Why does it always end with some bullshit news announcement? Do something original!
Alright, I'll take us away. This just
No,
in.
no.
A group
Alright, fine. Fine.
Excuse me. Fuck. Okay, no, go ahead. I can't do the voice. That fucked up my throat.
I'll do it for you.
I got it, Raptor. This just in. A group of students have been slaughtered at West Point College. Autopsy revealed everyone's kidneys have been removed for unknown reasons. For reasons unknown. So even the fucking origin story couldn't explain the fucking kidney thing.
Oh.
Many believe it has to do with supposed cultist act at the school. Student Jack Nichols has been reported missing. More tonight at 9. Okay. I had a point I was gonna make. Oh yeah. So,
That
do
was
you
retarded.
really think, La Mishi Mish, that when the original idiot who wrote Eyeless Jack, made this, that they really intended for a guy in a black hoodie and stupid mask who eats kidneys really was summoned from a cult that worshipped Chernobog? Fucking say it out loud and realize how stupid it sounds.
Lamishibish, I'm just going to say, if your parents haven't already disowned you, I will be honestly shocked.
I thought you were
We'll
going
say
to
this,
say,
though.
I will be your father so I can
No.
disown you.
Okay, yeah, that I would do. Like, yes, you have a parent now. Get the fuck out.
I will say
So
this,
what you're
though.
saying is, you will be her bean daddy and then disown her.
Ha.
Alright.
Fuck.
I will say this, though. This was a better origin story than the origin of Laughing Jack. Just not saying much, but still.
That's
Oh.
faint praise.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Okay,
That's
I
like
think
being
I'm
the
back.
funniest. That's like being the funniest judge on a talent show or sing-off show.
That's like
It
being,
don't mean much.
It's like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome.
Okay, not funny.
Again, it was a quote.
Did I tell you that the kid who I'm supposed to be babysitting soon is Downs?
No, you didn't.
Well, here, I'm telling you now, and I'm telling you, dig up, you idiot!
People. You suck. Please laugh.
Well, I don't think anyone but Cameron is still here. So, thank you, Cameron, for staying. This has been going on too long. We have actually have lost it. And
Thought they were
I look
worshipping-
forward to doing it again, guys. How about you?
I can't wait to see what they have for video game pastas. Because I am a gamer.
Yep.
Yes. I am a...
Video. Oh god.
All right, Manny, take it away. Do the